Nas on the beat.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
All right, there we go. There we go.
Cheers
He
to
in the
week
building.
17. What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. If you guys don't know, right? Notty always has his shades off when we first hop on here, right? And then I thought today was going to be the one day that he let y'all see his eyes, right? See what's going on behind the eyes. And as soon as I hit the intro, he put them on. I was like, dang it. I thought he was going to let y'all in. Let y'all see his eyes and everything today.
I didn't know. I didn't know you wanted to see my eyes today.
I was like, we're going to see his eyes today. Oh, snap. It's a special Monday. Yeah. But no, you went back. You went back.
Yeah.
Maybe for week 18, y'all. Maybe for the finale before we get
we
to
in week 17, right?
Yeah, week 17.
Okay.
Week 17.
So how you been though? Before we dive into the how you been?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. You know, Christmas was good. How was your Christmas?
I mean, it was another day. I don't really celebrate Christmas like that.
Did you have fun though?
How was it? How by myself pretty much the whole day. I got some Uber Eats and I
congratulations.
I played PlayStation 5 and I was just chilling.
Hold on, congratulations. What happened? Did you do something out?
Tiffany PNP from Portland. What's up? I know you're a big Chiefs fan. I'm sorry, we probably ain't gonna talk about the Chiefs tonight, but
they're done.
I appreciate you being here though.
Done. Put a fork in them. That's it. They're done for right now. Do you have any special plans for New Year's? New Year's is in what? Maybe 2 days now? 2 days now? 3 days?
New Year's is in March, April, sometime like that. But no, I don't do the whole switching from.
So you
December
go out,
to
get a little 2-step in.
No, I don't. It's just another month for me. I just you know what they say. Sometimes it's in the Bible in the Book of Solomon. Says sometimes it's better not to know too much.
Okay.
You know,
so you don't have. Do you make like any like crazy resolutions? Not crazy, but
no. I'm saying the problem is I understand why they celebrate New Year's on January 1st instead of when the year is actually new in springtime.
Oh my. Okay.
Right. So it's really about Janice, but that's not here nor there. We talking football. I don't want to educate the people today.
I'm like, you gonna put us on to something new?
It's only gonna ruin. Like my mama just found out the other day because she went to a Christmas party. She went to a Christmas party and they were playing trivia games, and so they asked her my mama.
Oh, okay.
And they were playing trivia games, and one of the questions was, "What's the first zodiac sign?" And it was like Aries, and she was like, "When is that?" And I was like, "It's probably in March or something. Probably when the year starts over." And April. When she did her research, she was like, "But we've been doing January 1st." I was like, "Mama, I've been trying to tell you that's all wrong. That's some these folk they celebrating the goddess of Janice, but you got to understand that." So, you know, like I said, that's not here nor there. But no, I don't celebrate January 1st. You know, other than just giving the Most High another day to praise Him.
You know, I have honestly not. This is my first time ever hearing that, honestly speaking. So on a different podcast, you're gonna have to let me know exactly what's what, because I feel like I need some new lessons or something. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I'm trying to fix my light for y'all real quick. So, all right, you guys, we're gonna get right into it, okay? Because we just watched the Falcons surprise us and get that win against the Rams. What are your thoughts on the game? Were you expecting the Falcons to win? I was not. I was like, oh, the Rams got this. Easy win. I'm like, oh, wait. No, 14-21. Then I look back, and I was like, oh, wait, 17. Hold on. We got a game.
Right. Well, I didn't pick the Falcons to win, but I'm not surprised that they did win.
You're not? Why not? I am.
Because the Falcons play really well on Monday nights. They have like That was a stat that I saw a few weeks ago. I mean, not a few weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago, but when they beat Buffalo on Monday night, and
Oh, don't bring up that game, please.
right,
Not
and
what happened to Buffalo
but the
yesterday.
stat was like the Falcons had one of the best records in the league when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
So it let me know that for whatever reason,
They show
especially
up
when
on
they're
Monday.
down in the, especially when they're down in the Mercedes-Benz Dome,
Mm-hmm.
the Falcons play really well on Monday night. So I thought the game would be close. I didn't think the
Mm-hmm.
Rams would blow them out, but you know, that pick six, that pick six changed everything. So
Mm-hmm.
and Matthew Stafford threw 3 interceptions tonight. That's just so uncanny for him. So, you know, turnovers will beat you, especially when you play a team that's not only hot, the
Mm-hmm.
Falcons have won 3 straight, but a team that already plays well in primetime games. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised the Falcons was, but no, I didn't have them picked to win prior to the game.
All right, so just moving the conversation along a little bit, right? Because, like I said, I already said I was caught off guard. Like, I really thought the Rams are going to come in. We've heard so much about the Rams. Rams, I think, are going to get back to the Super Bowl. They're the one team that's going to beat the Eagles. All these different things, right? And I'm like, but they did lose to the Panthers early in the season when the Panthers were kind of still figuring things out. You know what I mean? So that to me was a little bit like, But then we move forward. Obviously, they made some great strides since then. And then Matthew Stafford's been doing great things. Puka Nakua seems like he's off to me. Like something's off with him up here, but he is extremely talented. I will give him that much. And then fast forward today, I'm like, So everything that happened right tonight, and then thinking about the overall season, because Matthew Stafford has been, so it seems, the lock for MVP or MVP favorite, alongside or next to Drake May, and then Josh Allen is somewhere in there, at the bottom of the list.
Yeah,
Do you think that he lost his MVP status, took a drop tonight with this loss? Took a hit.
well, if he would have thrown that second pick six, that would have been huge because pick
Hmm.
sixes are a little bit different than throwing just a regular interception. But
Hmm.
he didn't throw the pick six, so I mean, I think he's still in the hunt. I believe it's a 2-man race though at this point. I believe it's
Him and
just
Drake May.
between Matthew Stafford and Drake May. Any chance that Josh Allen had of trying to do it again, that all went out the window yesterday when they
Hmm.
played the Eagles. I mean, that performance was subpar. And I mean, at the end of the day, you missed a wide open wide receiver to win the game. But Drake May is leading the league, and I mean, he's 72% completions, 30 touchdowns, 8 INTs. I mean, 112.9 QB range, 76.5 QBR. I mean, those
Hmm.
numbers are off the charts. The only thing that Matthew Stafford really has that Drake May doesn't, it's those 40 plus touchdowns with less than 10 interceptions. That's gonna
Hmm.
weigh huge when it comes to the writers voting for the MVP. And plus, Matthew Stafford has never won the MVP. He has won
Hmm.
the Super Bowl and he has had a great career. And this will kind of
Hmm.
cap it off for him. So sometimes I think the writers get in there and they say, well, Drake May, he's young. This is only his second year. He's
Second
gonna
year.
have
Hmm.
plenty of options. I mean, plenty of times to win the
Hmm.
MVP. This might be one of the last time Matthew Stafford can win it. So we'll just
Hmm.
go ahead and give Matthew Stafford the Lifetime Achievement Award of
Hmm.
winning the MVP this year.
Um, Stats are one thing, right? Like we were texting earlier. I'm like, there's
Mm-hmm.
stats, and then there's like, for me, I know stats obviously are a huge part of it, right? And then of course you got to win everything else. But to me, when I think about MVP, I'm again most valuable. How do you impact everyone around you? Like, how do you make everyone better? Because you could have a winning record, not necessarily be the reason why your team was winning games. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when I think about Matthew Stafford versus Drake May, I say go Falcons. Um,
What's up, Amanda? Shout out to Amanda Miller, longtime home girl from back in the day.
Whoa, what's up? When I think about Matthew Stafford versus Drake May, Mayday, eye test. When I look at what Drake May has done in games, like big games,
Mm-hmm.
and what Matthew Stafford has done, and I hate to say this, right? Because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. I do feel like eye test, not talking about just the stats, right? What you see on paper.
Right.
Eye test watching the game. I do feel like I know it's his second year, but if I have to choose, I'm going to go with Drake May.
I mean, I can't
I
argue
think
with you.
he's. I think he's. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Mad Knox? What's
Mad
good?
Knox, what it do? Shout out to them Giants, man. Them Giants keep winning, man.
Do they really?
Nah,
Whole
I
other
mean they won.
conversation.
I think they played the Raiders, but that don't really count, right?
Look, you got to play the schedule you're given. I always say that, right? You can't do nothing if it's a bummy team or not. Your job is to win. You got to get the win regardless, you know?
Right.
What's up? Hello, Poetic
What's up,
Sims.
Poe? What's going on? Shout out to Poetic Sins, DJ. Do
Oh,
beautiful music on Wednesday nights, Sunday nights. So yeah, definitely shout out to her. Huge supporter of
okay.
damn near everything I do, and I appreciate it. Built
Oh,
for
I
this
love
radio
it.
network.
I love it. Look at people coming through. Notty's friends and everything. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, I do feel like even with what happened last night, today, excuse me. I do feel
Right.
like you said, Matthew Stafford will still get it. Obviously, like he's been in the league for so long, never won it before. And how many more years will he still be here playing at this level? We don't know. You know, like Drake May second year. Let's see what he does in year 3, 4, 5. So you know, those kind of questions go into it. But I do feel like I think it's well deserved this year. And I hate to say it as a Buffaloes fan. I hate to say it, but
It is well deserved. I mean, his numbers. I mean, outside of the touchdowns, I think Matthew Stafford has maybe 10 to 12 more touchdowns than
hmm
Drake May has, but passing yards are similar. Drake May has a higher completion percentage. The QBR is
hmm
similar. I mean, this MVP race really could come down to the last week of the season. Drake May
at
just
this
had a
point, why is he even playing Drake May? I mean, Bills lost, so there's no
because
need
they're
to even
trying to get
compete
the
with
number
that.
one seed in the whole playoffs. They're trying to get that first round bye.
Got
And
you.
so they still have something to play for. And if he can pull that off,
hmm
I mean, you look at the game Drake May had yesterday. Yes, it was against the Jets, and the Jets are at the bottom of the bottom. But 5 touchdown passes, I mean, that's just phenomenal. And I think he only had 3 incompletions the whole game. This
Well,
could
like you
come
said,
down
they
to
were they
the
were playing the Jets,
I mean,
so
they
what's
were playing the Jets, but it's still 5 touchdowns in the NFL game. But it was the Jets. I'm just saying this could come down to the last game of the week. I mean, Stafford could have to play well this week. I
hmm
don't even know if the Rams, I have to look at their situation. They might not even play their starters too much next week. So if you
It
just
makes
say
sense.
if we just end it today, I think they will give it to Matthew Stafford again, a lifetime
I think so
achievement
too.
award. But if
hmm
Drake May wins the MVP, it's well earned. Nobody can argue with that.
I think people will argue with it because they'll go by obviously the stats. You know, Matthew Stafford has this many touchdowns, so on and so forth. Drake May has this amount of touchdowns. That'll be the conversation if Drake May happen to to win an MVP award.
Right.
I think that'll be the conversation. But we're gonna see. Right now, I still think Matthew Stafford has it. I really do. I'll be surprised. I just thought about this. I know. I'm just gonna throw it out there really quickly to you. Quick take. Are we not giving enough credit to Bo Nix? And I can't stand Sean Payton. You know, I don't want to give them not now credit over there in Denver. But we don't talk enough about Bo Nix. I mean, their record is still great. You know what I mean? He's done really well as a QB all season long. With all due respect, should he be in this conversation as well?
No, he shouldn't be in this conversation. Those games are especially the way he looked this past weekend. But those games,
hmm
I just read this earlier today. It's amazing that you brought this up.
hmm
Broncos this year would have played the Bengals without Joe Burrows, the
hmm
Texans without C.J. Stroud,
hmm
Washington without Jane Daniels, Kansas City without Mahomes, the Chargers without Herbert. I'm sorry, you got to win. You got to win those matchups against the top quarterbacks and put up those numbers. So
You got
I
to play
mean,
the schedule where you're given, though, man.
yeah,
They can't
you
do
got to
you
win
can't
these
do
given.
nothing if the starting QB is hurt or he's not
Understand
looking
that.
his best.
But then, I mean, if I just go look at his numbers, they're not
hmm
going to be comparable to Drake May and Matthew Stafford. So, I mean,
But
Bo
they're
Nix,
winning.
yeah, the
We go
deep,
about
yeah.
winning versus losses all the
If
time.
we
I'm
can
like,
give
they
if we can
won.
get if we can get MVPs to defenses, I definitely say Denver has they have the MVP at defense. Them are the Houston Texans.
I would say Texans if we go on defense. I'm like, give it to the
Yeah,
Texans.
yeah, Bo Nix, I mean, he's not even at 4,000 yards passing, 25 touchdowns to 11 picks.
Mm-hmm.
64% completion percentage. That's not bad. But when you look at
It's not
Stafford,
bad.
66% and Drake May 72%. I mean, I'm pretty sure he'll get some MVP votes. Maybe he'll finish like in the top 5,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not there yet. He didn't put on that type of season.
We gonna see. We gonna see. And we move along to the opposite side, right? Rams, because we're gonna go to the other side. Atlanta Falcons, obviously, they will not be in the postseason this season. Maybe next season, but not this one. They've won 3 games, and Captain Kirk beating, a very well coached, Rams team. Do you think he's earned his starting QB job back from Michael Penix?
Well, you got to understand that Michael Penix probably going to miss a lot of time next year.
Mm-hmm.
And so unless the Falcons want to go spend more money to bring another quarterback in, which I don't think they will, I think they have no choice but to start Kirk Cousins at least early, and then he'll have an opportunity to win his starting position back. Because if you're winning, you got to ride that momentum. Even when
Mm-hmm.
Penix is healthy, if you're winning, you ride that momentum. But if you're losing and Penix is healthy, then you got to go back to your young guy. I mean, again, I think sometimes we give quarterbacks too much credit for winning
Mm-hmm.
and too much blame for losses. The
True.
Falcons
I agree with
defense
that.
played great today. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
turned Matthew Stafford over 3 times. Kirk Cousins played decent. He played okay. He wasn't great, and he hasn't been outside of. They played one game. He did play spectacular. He played
Mm-hmm.
great, but outside of that one game, I mean, he's just been not losing the games, and
Well,
so
that's what we asked them to do, right? Don't as a QB. Everyone's not going to be a game changer. As a game manager, just manage the game, take care of the ball, take care of the ball. Do not lose us this game. Don't lose us the game.
well,
And
when
he's
you
done that.
yeah, but when you're trying to win, when you talk about has he won his starting job back, you don't
I
win your
mean,
starting job back by not losing games. You win your starting job back by being the reason we're winning games.
when I watched Michael Penix play, honestly speaking, I wasn't like blown away. Where I was like, man, like Captain Kirk, just ship him off. Like
Oh
his
yeah,
his, his
yeah.
his health is a concern to me. Was a concern even in college before he got to the NFL. No, to this level. So let's say if they both are healthy, fully healthy, beginning of next season. Depending on what happens, next week how this whole thing ends, how I guess how they look, in training camp. I'm not so sure that I wouldn't go back to starting Kirk Cousins if you're gonna keep him anyway. You know what I mean?
Well,
Now,
you got to keep them because you're paying them. But if let's just say both quarterbacks are healthy, you got to
hmm
go back with Michael Penix because you drafted him in the top 10, and that's your future. And you have to continue to develop him. This was to
that's the
me,
future. I'm
yeah,
concerned
to
then.
me, this was Michael Penix's first year as a really a starting quarterback. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Rookies need time to develop and get better. I mean, if we got rid of every rookie who didn't perform great in their first year, there's a lot of quarterbacks we can go down the
hmm
list that shouldn't be quarterbacks in this league. But I believe you got to give a quarterback an opportunity to
hmm
develop and understand the game and learn the game and let the speed of the game slow down. Michael Penix has great arm talent. That's one thing he does have.
hmm
He just needs time to continue to develop. And the Falcons
He needs to
special
get
team,
healthy.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he definitely has to be healthy. I mean, your availability is your best ability. But the
hmm
Falcons special team have been awful all year. I mean, they're arguably the worst special team in the league this year. They've had games going back to the first game of the season against Tampa Bay where your field goal kicker missed kicks. They're on their third kicker already this season because
hmm
they keep getting kickers that can't
I
kick a
can't kick.
field goal. Right. To win them games, they lost games because of their special teams. It's been a thing down here in Atlanta going even as far as 4 or 5 weeks back where the
hmm
fans have been demanding that the special teams coordinator get fired. Raheem Morris has stuck with him and said he
hmm
believes in him, but he probably won't be here next year if Raheem Morris is to keep his job. He's gonna have to let some heads roll and
You think
the
Raheem
special
Morris potentially can get fired
potentially, but I think these last 3 games with the way the Falcons have looked, especially
trying to
on
save him?
defense, that I think the Falcons players they played hard even when the season was lost. I think the
hmm
Falcons
Yeah.
players saved Raheem Morris' job. I think they're gonna keep him for one more season, at least.
I mean, based on how they're finishing the season, and given the fact that obviously, Michael, got hurt and everything else, I can see them giving him another season. I can. You know, it shows that your team is still fighting. You haven't lost ears in the locker room. So that all those things I think should go a long way. Although I'm not obviously in the higher up meetings, but I think he's earned this one more season. I think so. But we're gonna see. I think it's always unfair because it's like, well, give the QBs time to develop their rookies. It takes time, which it does take time, but they don't give the coaches that much time. It's like, look, you got to win games. And it's like, I got a
Yeah,
rookie. I'm trying to develop the rookie. Like it takes time. They go up and down. Some games they're great. Some games it's like, what the heck happened? Like, what are you doing? Don't. Why would you throw that? Like it's this whole up and down like roller coaster with the rookies. But at the same time, the coach is expected to win.
yeah,
So it's like I feel like it's unfair, because it's like I'm a coach. I'm gonna keep my job. Like these jobs are hard to come by, especially for a black coach. But then I'm trying to be patient with my rookie. So do I go back to
right,
my vet? Because I know I can. No, he can give me some more games, but he's the future over here. And right now, he's on a struggle bus. It's like I feel like that needs to be, or I wish it was on the same mindset. Like you got to give the coaches time to work and nurture. Everyone's not gonna look like
correct.
Caleb and Big Ben, in
Hmm.
Chicago, or how last season Jay and Daniels looked with Dan Quinn. Like it doesn't always happen like that.
Right. And Arthur Blank has been evaluating. He will evaluate everything at the end of the season. But again, a lot of times, and we've talked about this before, the
Mhm.
coaches don't make all the decisions. You got a general manager, you got president of football operations. A lot of times the front office members have more say than the coach. The coach primary job of a head coach is to coach the team. Usually it's somebody else's decision on what groceries that you got to coach. And
But you
that's
want me
gonna
to
be
win? You want me to
right,
win? And I'm like, I'm doing my best, but he's
right.
not right now. This chef is not ready. Like he got some more learning to do. I need some
Eh,
more. I need some more ingredients before I can put this meal together.
Right. And I think that's why I think both Terry Fontenot and Raheem Moore's jobs are gonna be spared this year. I think Arthur
Mhm.
Blank will end up keeping both of them. Don't get me wrong, he could get rid of one or both. But usually a lot of times when a owner decides to part ways with the coach, he also
Mhm.
parts ways with the general manager. So um I think based on the circumstances that you just laid out, you do have a young
Mhm.
quarterback that you are trying to develop,
Mhm.
and the way that the team, and it's really not really about the offense, it's about the defense. Because when Raheem Morris got hired by the Falcons, the thing was their defense was gonna improve. They traded their first round draft pick for next
Mhm.
year away so they can have two drafts and two picks in the first round this year, where they took two defensive players and both those players hit. And that defense is playing really, really good. And next year they're expected to be better. So just based off that, I think Raheem Morris saved his job. Now, like I said, the special teams coordinator, his head is probably gonna roll.
Mhm.
And next year, it's gonna be like, okay, I need Michael Penix when he come back, or whoever is at the quarterback. It won't be no excuses.
Mhm.
The team has to win next year because you're in the worst division in all of football. You have a team that's going to win 9-8. 9-8 has been good enough the last three. I mean, hell, last 4 years in the NFC South. If
Mhm.
we can't be 9-8, then what are we doing?
Speaking of which, I just thought about this quick take. Moving on with people keeping their job. That I know, it's the end of the season and whatnot. Aaron Glenn, man. Oh man, this is so rough for me because I am so rooting for him to get at least one more season. It is so hard to get a head coaching job. Like those things would not just come by like every single, every other week, every NFL season. But y'all hear my son? He's on a PS5 going crazy right now. My
Oh,
apologies.
okay.
um, but I feel like he deserves at least one more chance. I know it's looked awful, awful, awful this season. It has been awful. Like that's just the only way I could describe it. Just awful. I can't think of any other word to describe it. And then yesterday I was like, are they 35-3 at halftime? I was like, the game is not even over, and it's 35. What the heck? I didn't bother to watch it because I was like, I can't. I just feel so bad. But I do feel like he's earned himself at least one more season. One more season. Get a different QB in there. Like get some more talent in there. Change. The defensive coordinator up. Get different. Just change the whole thing up, and see what can happen. But what do you think though? If you making a decision, are you like, nah, I'm good?
I'm asking you what has he done to make you believe that he's earned it or he deserves another year?
Because he trusted Justin Fields, right? And that was obviously the wrong decision. Like it hasn't looked good. Justin Fields to me has like natural talent in terms of like athleticism, I would say. But it seems like, and I know it's been a while since he's been in the NFL, so he should have moved past where he is right now. But the fact is that he hasn't. So I'm like, maybe if you get a different offensive coordinator in there, like someone who can like spend some time with him, like, and just really, I don't know, find a way to utilize his strengths, for the betterment of the team and for him as well. I think it might be better. Like I think that I know Aaron Glenn is a defensive minded coach at first, but something was in this locker room. I don't know what it was or what it is. Something's going on. I mean, the penalties every single game, either you're coaching it, you're condoning it. I'm like, what the heck is happening, right? And like what's going on? And I do feel like because Justin Fields, like there were some games defense played decent enough to win the game. Like they're not a Texans defense by any means. Don't get me wrong, but or even like the Niners. But there were some games that they were a little just decent enough to win the game. I'm like, they need a better QB, and I do feel like maybe a different QB in there like might spark something. If it still looks the same next season, then all right, Aaron, you got to go. But I think we have to not expect a first-time head coach to come in and just change. It takes time to change a franchise around. Like it's not overnight, or even sometimes a one-season thing. Sometimes it takes a while to change the culture. When we think about when Dan Campbell first became the Pistons, think about Detroit, the Lions head coach. Like they didn't go from being like the worst team, like the best team in that first season. Like it took you sort of making strides a little bit, but it wasn't like just this whole 360.
Yeah, I mean it's rare. I mean it's happened. I mean what Dan Quinn did last year with Washington was great.
Yeah, and then this season that might happen.
Yeah, I mean he had quarterback issues this year, and also in Houston, their head coach, his first year with Houston, they turned it around and they made the playoffs with a rookie quarterback and C.J. Stroud. So it has happened, but it is rare to your point, and I believe AG will be back as the head coach next year because of two reasons. Even though I think he's in over his head, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did fire him, but I think he will be back because not only did they hire Aaron to be the head coach last year, they also hired Darren Moogie to be the general manager. So you got a first-year general manager and a first-year head coach. You knew that Justin Fields was a stopgap guy. That's why you only gave him a one-year deal. You don't have your quarterback. You're going to get your quarterback in this year's draft. And then that clock starts over. So really, I believe if they really want to be somewhat fair about it, you would get Aaron Glenn at least 2 more years. Because you're going to have a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
Right. Because you're going to have a rookie quarterback coming in next year, and you're going to have to develop him. Also, you got a lot of turnover with your roster. You got rid of Sauce Gardner and Keenan Williams, your 2 best defensive players this season. So you got to
I didn't understand that. I was like, what are we doing?
Right. You got to restock the cupboard there. Also, I don't like that Aaron Glenn got rid of Steve Wilks. Just didn't make any sense to me because he wasn't getting through with the players. Hell, half the old players you got to get rid of because they ain't no good. You can't win with them. Keep the proven commodity. Steve Wilks is a proven commodity. Your defense is going to be good going forward with Steve Wilks and players who really want to play football. So I think he's in over his head, but I do believe that because you got a first-year general manager, you really don't have your quarterback. You're going to get your quarterback in this year's draft, and that quarterback is going to at least need 2 years to develop. I think you give Aaron Glenn 2 years, but of course, going into next year, if it looks as bad as it did this year, like he's just way over his head, then yeah, I understand it. They'll probably make a change in season.
Yeah, I mean, I will understand that. Nasir, what's up? He said AG will go back. back to being in DC next season. I hope not. I mean, we've seen other coaches get more than one season, and I'm like, why? But they've gotten a few seasons sometimes. I'm like, it's been long enough now. It's time to make a change. But they get other chances. So I think give them at least one more season. Look, if you're not used to being, everybody can't be a head coach, and maybe he can't be a head
No,
coach.
no.
But I think we'll see. If when they do some things differently. I'm just throwing this out here really quickly. I was going to ask you, Tyler Huntley, no, to the Jets.
No, they got to draft a quarterback in the first round. They got to
What
get their.
you want to go with? If you want to go for Tyler Huntley, you don't think he could be
They
a
have to
QB1?
get their quarterback for the franchise. They need a franchise guy.
You don't think he'll be the franchise there?
No, Tyler Huntley is too long in the tooth. He's a backup. He's a great backup, but that's what he is. He's not a starting guy. He had an opportunity when he went down to Miami. They gave him a shot. It just didn't work out. So a lot of times when you get an opportunity, you have to take advantage of that opportunity. Now they are like Malik Willis is going to get a real shot to be a starting quarterback next year. Mac Jones is going to be a guy that some team might give an opportunity, but again, they're going to get an opportunity. But these are going to be 1-year deals to prove that you are what they believe you to be.
That's fair.
Similar to Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. How they did, they had the 1-year prove it deal. They proved it, then they got long-term contracts. So, that's the same situation for Malik Willis and the Mac Jones coming next year. But the Jets, they're gonna be able to take the first quarterback in the draft that's selected. So that's what I expect them to do. And it's probably gonna be Mendoza out of Indiana, but I don't know. They're gonna have to do their evaluation process and see who they like.
Well, like I said, y'all, we're gonna see. To be continued. We're gonna roll to yesterday, go back just a little bit, y'all. A lot of games this week during the holiday. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go to the Niners versus the Bears. What a game! I was not expecting that game to go back and forth like a tennis match. I really was not. I'm like, the defense is gonna show up. It's gonna be a little difficult, but no, I was like, wait. 7-7, 14-14. It was just go back and forth. I was like, this game's gonna go like to 50 to 47 or something. Like, who's gonna win? Somebody gotta get a stop somewhere. Like, and then obviously the Niners they pulled it out. And honestly, I'm not so sure if they meet again, it's gonna have the same result. Because Caleb was like, I could do it too, Brock. Like, and then you had the battle of the coaches. Kyle Shanahan obviously being an offensive mind that he is, and Big Ben was like, I'm not backing down. We could do it on this side too. I loved it going back and forth on both sides. But what are your thoughts though? What you think about the game?
I mean, it was a great game. It was a great game. I mean,
it was the best game of the week. If I had to pick a game.
You can say that. I agree it was the best game of the week from an offensive perspective. The offenses were great. I mean, Brock Purdy especially was great. I mean, 24 of 33, 300 yards, 3 picks. The first play of the game, the pick 6 from Edwards for the Bears to get on the board. It started out like, okay, Chicago, they're here. The defense is playing the way they've been playing all year. They're taking the ball away from all the quarterbacks. I wonder how this game is going to go. And then Brock Purdy just proceeded to light them up at will. Caleb Williams also, he had a decent game. I mean, it wasn't
great.
A
very good game.
Yeah, I mean, he had a decent game. I mean, 25 or 42, that's a lot of passes. He threw a lot of passes. He missed a lot. But, I mean, 330 yards, two touchdowns. I mean, 100 quarterback range. I mean, he played well. And they had an opportunity to win the game at the end. It just, if they had 8 more seconds, they might have pulled it out. Pause. But it was a great game. I mean, we had 6 touchdowns before halftime. That game that you saw between the 49ers and the Chicago Bears is the game that the NFL owners they manipulated the rules to have that type of game. That's the type of game that the fans want to see week in and week out from damn near every game. That's the kind of excitement they want. So they gave NFL fans everything they wanted last night with that game. Great game.
It really was. And I posted on my channel about after the game. I was like, I got to put some more respect on Brock Purdy. We heard for so long, like, oh, Brock, Mr. Irrelevant, the third string QB. He's a
Mm-hmm.
system guy. It only works when he has his weapons. Without his weapons, he's not good enough. He can't get it done. All these different things. And this season, it's been a lot of ups and downs. A lot of turmoil. Within the team,
Yeah.
injuries. From their like their core. Like their core. Between Warner and Bosa and Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna leave him out
Yeah,
this
he's done.
conversation. George Kittle, wasn't there yesterday either. Him and George Kittle, they have a great, chemistry. He wasn't there either. And Brock, has been putting the team on his back and doing a hell of a job. Do you think, in your opinion, has Brock Purdy moved from game manager into the status of game changer, into the upper echelon of QBs who we
I'm,
think are game changers?
I mean, there's no knocking being the game managers. The best quarterbacks in the history of the league are all game managers. Like
Well, that people were offended though when Cam made that comment. People
yeah,
were
that's
like,
because
"Game
people didn't
manager, game changer."
understand. For whatever reason, people are always offended by what Cam says because they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. They're listening with their hearts and not with their ears.
Mm-hmm.
When Cam said game manager, he wasn't using the game manager in a negative context. He
Yeah, I
was
know.
trying to explain to people the difference between a game changer and a game manager. Cam was a game changer. He was a
Mm-hmm.
guy who ran the football. He threw the football. So he wasn't necessarily a game changer, but you look at guys like Tom Brady is a game manager. He's the ultimate game manager. He's arguably the greatest quarterback to ever play. Like there's no knock in being a game manager. So I talked to you earlier this year. I said when Lamar Jackson understands how to manage a game instead of
Mm-hmm.
always having to go out there and be Superman and win. Same with Josh Allen. Sometimes I just need you to be able to manage a game because sometimes you try too much and you do too much because you feel like you have to do it and it's all on you. And then you make a critical mistake or you turn the ball over or you miss a pass when really you need to sometimes just manage the game, get the ball in the hands of your weapons. I mean, you look at Christian McCaffrey yesterday, 23 carries, 140 yards, and a touchdown. That's help. That helps Brock Purdy.
Of
Like,
course,
so yes,
we
Brock
got to get him the
Purdy,
ball though.
right. And I believe Brock Purdy is I think he's a really good quarterback. I don't look at him as I think he's top 10 easily. I've thought this, but at the same time, the Kyle Shanahan system works. It's worked for
So
every
do you?
quarterback
So
that he's
would
had.
you
Matt
say?
Ryan won the MVP
Uh-huh.
and went to the Super Bowl in their offense. We
So
saw
you,
Mac
your mind
Jones.
hasn't changed. You still feel like it's more Kyle Shanahan and his system than Brock Purdy's talent.
Yeah, but that's fine because all great quarterbacks are system quarterbacks.
No, I'm
So
asking. Do you feel like it's more Kyle Shanahan's system than Brock Purdy's talent?
that's a tough question to ask. Yes, I do
You
because
got kind of quiet.
I'm gonna tell you why it's tough because I can see it. I can see the argument from both sides. We saw
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones, who looked abysmal in New England. He went down to Miami and he looked abysmal in Miami. And then you come in and you step in for hurt Brock Purdy early in the season. And now we're talking about Mac Jones possibly going somewhere else and having the opportunity to start because he played so well. So that's that system. But at the same, I mean, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl in that same
Porn
system.
star Jimmy. I
Right. The
can't
only
unhear that.
quarterback who didn't succeed in that system is Trey Lance. And we haven't
I forgot about him.
right, we haven't heard from Trey Lance because maybe he's just not a good quarterback. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't care how good your system is. If you can't play dead in the movie, then you can't play. It don't matter what system that you're in. And Brock
Playing
Purdy,
dead is not easy. Okay, take it from an
right,
actress. It might seem like it's easy, but it is not laying there like that.
right.
Continue.
But yeah, Brock Purdy is playing superb in that system. I seen back in the day, the Denver Broncos, they always had 1,000-yard rusher. It didn't matter who they put back there. They were
Mm-hmm.
gonna get 1,000 yards out that guy because
Mm-hmm.
of the scheme that they were using with the zone blocking. Every running back was gonna get 1,000 yards. But Terrell Davis in that same system, he got
Hold on.
2,000 yards. Well,
Oh
that's
no.
because Terrell Davis was a better running back than all those other guys who can just squeak out 1,000. You put
Mhm.
him in that system, he's gonna get 2,000. So yes, Brock Purdy is an elite quarterback from that aspect. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks I can put in the Shanahan system, and they're gonna play well. But are they gonna play this well in that system? And Brock Purdy has separated himself by how well he has played in that system.
So I'm reading some of these comments. What's up, Bruce? How's it going? Happy Monday.
Bruce.
He said his system, Kyle Shanahan, that is, his system loses in the Super Bowl. It's the first thing he said. Then he said Purdy is not that good. Bruce, I disagree. I think Brock Purdy has made some great strides throughout the season, throughout the years. And then final comment from Bruce says Purdy has no arm strength. He is not elite QB. I think he's grown. He was very accurate yesterday. He's efficient. He's on the money. I can't. Whew, definitely top 10. I agree with you for sure. Um, Arm strength or not, he
Right.
making some accurate
Arm
throws.
strength doesn't determine whether or
Like,
not you're an elite
he's
quarterback.
efficient. He's been
Right.
efficient now. He was efficient as heck yesterday.
Right.
He's elite. I mean, that to me, that's all like perspective. I mean, when we think about some of the other quarterbacks, the Josh Allens, the Joe Burrows, Patrick Mahomes, obviously Lamar Jackson, even to some degree, Dak Prescott, who was an MVP conversation a few seasons ago with Mike McCarthy. What is your definition of elite? What makes an elite
Right. I
QB
mean,
elite?
I think Brock Purdy is better than Dak Prescott.
Mm-hmm. I mean, his
How
resume definitely is
right.
definitely
I mean, I think he's
fantastic.
better than Prescott, but I'm saying I've seen quarterbacks have huge arms. Jeff George
Mm-hmm.
had a huge arm. He's not better than Brock Purdy. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks got a cannon.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make you a good quarterback. You know what makes you a good
I agree with
quarterback? Accuracy with the
that.
football.
Yeah,
Pocket presence. Those things matter. And the ability to work the system that you're in.
decision
And
making, I think
right,
as well.
decision making and being able to make decisions fast. I mean, when you can calculate those things, I mean, you look at Tom Brady, he's probably the most least athletic quarterback that you've probably ever seen. He didn't have a rocket for an arm, but it was good enough. And he was very accurate with the ball, and he made quick decisions, and he was able to win with the pieces that were around him. So, I mean, I don't think having a rocket arm is what determines if you're a great quarterback or not.
His noodle arm gonna lead the Niners to a playoff loss. If they lose, I don't think it'll be because of his noodle arm. I think it'll be because at that point he might miss at the next level, meaning the playoffs. They might actually miss Fred Warner,
Right,
Bosa, and so
right.
on and so forth. And if Kittle is not healthy for that first round, then it might be a problem. Right now, it's regular season, but next obviously playoffs is going to go up a notch. A few notches. I think if they do lose, it might come down like, man, they miss Bosa out there on that play or something like that. But what do you think? Do you think his noodle arm is going to lead them to a
No,
loss?
that won't be a problem. Like I believe what you said, that defense. I mean, just yesterday, that defense allowed Caleb Williams to throw for 330 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Defense disappeared yesterday. I
Right,
was like, what the
right.
heck happened?
The thing that kept them alive was Brock Purdy's brilliance. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Kyle Shanahan, like Brock Purdy said, he's been in his bag when it comes to calling plays. I mean, he's just been outstanding. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is going to be
Coach of the year?
in the running. He's in the running for the coach of the year because man, he's done a great job considering all the injuries that they've dealt with this season, from
Mm-hmm.
George Kittle to the quarterback precision to Fred Warner. I mean, they just Trent Williams
Mac
went down
Jones.
yesterday. I mean, I mean, like Brandon Ayuk hasn't played all year. You lost Debo Samuels. I
Oh, yeah.
mean,
Forgot
you
about
look
Debo,
at
too. Yeah.
right, you look at the turnover on the roster, and you look at the guys he's had to win with. I mean, they have an opportunity this weekend. 49ers versus the Seahawks. Whoever wins is going to have the number 1 seed in the NFC. I mean, that's just a fantastic coaching job. And you can't say nothing else about it. And the quarterback, we thought Mac Jones, we were like, Mac Jones is playing well. Do you stay with Mac Jones? And then Brock Purdy came in. He was like, nah, I see why they put Brock Purdy back. It's
That was the
different.
conversation. Is Brock
Right,
better
it
than
was,
Mac?
and then
Mac
Brock
better than
Purdy
Brock?
killed
Yeah.
that conversation in 2 weeks. So, yeah. I mean, Brock Purdy has been playing great. Shanahan his system has been great. His coaching job has been superb. And if they don't win it, it's more than likely going to be because they couldn't win in the shootout.
Hold on. Purdy is brilliant? Question mark. Purdy has to play better because everyone in the Bay was calling for Mac Jones to replace him, but he still stepped up though. It's one of the people to call you out, but can you
Right.
actually answer the call? You got to answer that call. You know what I mean? Like, and he did. I mean, we're gonna see obviously what happens in the playoffs. A lot of it goes with matchups, all these different things, injuries. Also play a part. But I think he answered the call. I had to put some more respect on Brock's name. I was like, okay, you know what, Brock? I've been kind of doubting you for a while, but I got to stop doubting you right now. Hold on, read through some more comments. Nasir, if Jeff George had Sean McVay as a coach, his career would have been a different outcome.
No.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
Another comment from Bruce. Mac Jones was balling when Campbell chicken noodle arm was hurt. And then Bruce again, Purdy did not even save the season. Mac Jones did. Kyle Shanahan. But yeah, you gotta be capable. You do. I mean, Kyle
you
Shanahan
gotta have a capable backup. I mean,
yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Tyler Huntley kept the season alive for Baltimore. He's won a couple games without Lamar. Those games are important. It's important to have a competent backup quarterback in this league.
All right, y'all. If y'all new here, hit the like and subscribe button. If it's your first
for
time
sure.
here.
Oh, let me make sure I got it on. Let me make sure I hit this like button. Y'all make sure y'all hit this like button.
All right. Oh, okay. So if these teams meet again, right? Just going back to it really quickly. If they meet again, do you think it'll be the same outcome? Niners on really? Yes. I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure.
I know Caleb. Be so sure. You just asked me what I think.
No, I'm just saying. I know, like stats. Obviously, Caleb, wasn't as efficient as Brock and things of that nature. But
right,
Caleb was right there. He hung in there. Like if we didn't know the stats, if we just watched the game. We didn't know anybody like how many like in terms of completions, who was what. They were going toe to toe. Do we need to put some more respect on Caleb's name?
Let him earn it. Let him earn it. He has plenty of time to get that respect put on his name. He got plenty of time. The playoffs is
it's personal with you.
No, it's not personal. Yes, it is. It's not personal because you already know. I've told you even yesterday. I say, man, that Caleb Williams has elite arm talent. I mean, some of the throws he made yesterday, I was like, man, that is gold. Like he's putting it on the rope to the receiver 40 yards down the field.
Great arm strength.
No, yeah, don't do that. But being the quarterback, especially headed, I mean, what you're talking about, being an elite quarterback, man, it's mental too.
Mm-hmm.
And you, like I said, in 2 weeks, we're about to start the playoffs. And
Bruce said Bears gonna destroy the Niners if they meet again.
Yeah, we're gonna see because the playoffs are about to start. And that pressure is different because in the playoffs, you don't play no bad teams unless you playing whoever's in the NFC South. If you playing whoever's in the NFC South, that's a win because that team is just backing into the playoffs, whether it's Carolina or Tampa Bay. But outside of that, if you got to play the Rams, if you got to play the Seahawks, if you got to play the Packers, if you got to play the 49ers, if you got to play the Philadelphia Eagles, you got to go out there and win a football game.
We did see that Falcons defense now have Matt out there throwing all kind of interceptions tonight. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, the Falcons. Sometimes teams catch their groove late, and the Falcons caught their groove late, but they're out of time. The way that defense is playing, the Falcons. I mean, they won 3 straight. They can beat a lot of teams, but they unfortunately, they start their groove too late. Same with the Saints. The Saints are the same.
They should have started him a little bit sooner too. Prez said, "Hola, what's up, Prez? How you doing?
Hola, ¿cómo está?"
Who won it today? The Falcons beat the Rams tonight. Well, last night now. Nasir said throwing missiles with black fingernail polish. He actually had white nail polish on yesterday. It was like white and I think like blue or something he had when I saw it. I was like, okay. This generation
with the fingernail polish.
Caleb gonna get a manicure and go to San Jose and show Niners cupcake defense. Imagine coming through in red nail polish and doing a
Right.
demolition
That's
job
why he
against the
can't win.
Niners.
That's my issue with him. That's why I don't think he can win when it's time to win big games. It
Because of the
takes a
nail
certain
polish?
type. Yes, it takes a certain type of bravado to go out there and get it done. I just don't believe he has it. But we'll see.
I think he has bravado. I think because nowadays with these younger athletes, like the bravado just looks different. Like they got on skirts sometimes, and
No,
they
if you wearing a
they
skirt, you have
carrying
no
man
bravado.
purses.
If you got a
Like
man purse, you have no bravado. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna
it's
work out.
fashion now, though. Now it's a
No.
fashion thing.
Those guys that are big in fashion, I question all those guys. If you want to be big in fashion, go to France, be a model.
So
Like,
you
stop.
can you can combine sports and fashion. I
I
mean,
don't
come
like
on, you
those
got the
guys that
money.
I don't like those guys that uh they they do more fashion over the game. Like, okay, you want to be fashionable and play the game,
Caleb's
but
been
don't.
balling though with the nail polish.
He's played well. He's played well. I give him that. He's better this year than he was last year.
I think a lot of it has to do with also Ben Johnson, not just because of who he is and how great he is in the offensive mind. He's also like Caleb didn't have any confidence last year. Even though he was number one overall, I feel like we saw what Jaden Daniels was doing, or at least he saw it, and everybody was like, well, what happened? Did it make the wrong pick? Should he have gone number one and Caleb number two and all these different things? They always say, oh, we'll listen to that. We good. But they do hear the outside noise, I believe. And he was out there running for his life last season. Like, he never played football in his life. I was like,
Yeah.
Caleb, where you going? He was running back to the side. He was all over the place. And I feel like this season with Ben, they said coming into the season, Ben Johnson put him in like every situation possible that he could think of, during the no training camp and things of that nature. And he plays with a lot more confidence now, like in spite of the nail polish, but he's out there
Right.
like feeling himself. Like he's like, I know. Like when they asked him about that throw that he made, I forgot what game that was a few games ago. I can make any throw. I was like, oh, you want to talk your smack,
That was
Caleb?
the Cleveland
Let him
game.
know. Yeah, he was like, I can make any throw.
Right.
Like that was a good question.
We discussed it earlier. That's what I was saying. Like last year under Matt Eberflus, who got fired in the season because they realized after one of them games,
and he's working already again.
they were like, hold on, this guy can't coach. We gotta fire him. Matter of fact, don't even get on the team bus. You fired. Catch an Uber to the house.
Yeah.
And
right decision.
Right. And Caleb Williams last year had no offensive system. Ben Johnson brought an offensive system with him. So now you put that talent in the system, and voila, you win the division. So yes, Ben Johnson is a huge reason why Caleb Williams is having success, but Caleb Williams has shown that he can play in this system. Same with Jared Goff. He showed you I can play in this system that Ben Johnson have. The system works.
Hold on, read some of these comments because we've got some more comments. Oh yes, Matthew Stafford played tonight. Yep, he played. Bruce says Stafford lost the MVP tonight. I don't think just yet. I don't think just yet. If we're going by, touchdown to interception ratio, I don't think just yet. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
But Bruce, I would say that he definitely opened the door for Drake May to come in and steal that award. I think they're gonna give it to Stafford because of a lifetime achievement. But those 3 picks on Monday Night Football, that's an eyesore to all the writers who was watching that game.
Prime time, live time. Bruce says so women can wear nail polish and dominate. Men can't. Robin was doing it in the 90s. He was balling. And then Press said, you don't like the androgynous style?
Let me address Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman.
Oh, no, let me go back. Okay, go ahead.
Dennis Rodman was a made man before he started wearing nail polish. Dennis Rodman didn't start his career off wearing nail polish. Dennis Rodman was a totally different player in Detroit than he became post Detroit. Dennis Rodman, I read his book. He was in the parking lot with a shotgun to his head. He was gonna kill himself. I mean, he was going through a lot of mental health issues before mental health issues was a thing. And he just went wild. He had already had 3 championships before he went wild. He did start wearing dresses the wedding dresses, and he color his hair every week. He put on a nail polish, but Dennis Rodman gonna get you 18 rebounds. That he wasn't the guy who you're looking to score 30 points
Well,
and get
Caleb
you
was
10
he's still
assists.
getting you touchdowns.
Yeah, but touchdowns and rebounds are two different stats. You know,
They are
touchdowns are
sports
equivalent
also.
to Michael Jordan was doing, scoring 30. Dennis Rodman was playing great defense and getting you 18 rebounds. He had decided he wasn't even caring about scoring no more. He'll give you 2 points, and he'll be like, I'm just going to get you 25 rebounds. And I'm going to give it back to Jordan, and I'm going to let Jordan score all the points. So it was different. Rodman, even though he is a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt, and one of the greatest power forwards to ever play the game, he was more of a role player than the actual guy who's gonna lead. He didn't lead any team nowhere. He was a major contributor to all those teams. But I get what you're saying. And if Caleb Williams can win Super Bowls with the nail polish, then everything I said is null and void.
Everything changes. Everything changes.
Everything changes if he go win a Super Bowl with the nail polish.
Let me tell y'all, if Caleb wins with nail polish, he's gonna be on the cover of I don't know how many magazines, holding the championship, holding Lombardi with the nails. He's gonna have I don't know some kind of trophy design across Vogue magazine. They're gonna be like Caleb Williams wins the Super Bowl, MVP, changing the face of the landscape of the NFL. I can see it now, y'all. I can see it now.
Gotta root against him. That's why I gotta root against him. The future of our young men are at stake with Caleb Williams.
I mean, he's not the only one though. I mean, he's just like one of quite a few. I mean, you got who's it?
Yeah,
Ryan Williams. That's something like Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Williams, and we saw what he did this year.
They got nail polish endorsements now for the young man. I'm like, okay, hold on. You don't like the androgynous style. All jokes aside, y'all, you know, when it comes to nail polish, I believe that should be for women. You know, if I'm all jokes aside, you know, I don't think that should be a man thing. You know, men. I know now the gender roles have blended. You know, like it's like
they haven't blended.
No, I mean that's the way the world is going, though. You know what I mean? It's
that's
like
the way they put it on TV.
Yeah, you know, everything's blended. It's like we're all one, so to speak. You know, like there's no more genders. It's just like you know, I'm a person. I'm a they. I'm a them. I'm not a person at all. I'm just here. I'm just with the Lord in the presence of the air or something. It's crazy now.
Yeah.
Whole other conversation, though, y'all. We'll get back to My mom's in the chat. She said, if you are new here, please join the chat.
Stewart.
Don't be shy. We value your comments and opinions. Thank you.
Keep Katja out them trenches.
Keep KD out them trenches. Need to come out of there. Hold on. I could care less if dude wears nail polish as long as I'm not doing it. Okay. So you're not thinking about the future of men. You're thinking about you.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about the young boys coming up. I don't. I know how the media operates, and I know how this country operates through the media and they programming. And like you said, if he somehow wins it wearing red nail polish and a pink cell phone with a purse, it's just gonna change society, and it's already changed enough.
It's already changed.
We don't need to keep going in that direction.
Hold on. Nasir coming from me. I see your comment, Nasir. I talk against a player wearing jewelry, but Notty gets a pass by disregarding the future face of the NFL wearing fingernail polish. No. I'm not saying it's a pass, you know, because some things are just like fun, right? I know how, you know, Notty feels about the nail polish and everything, so I like to poke fun at him, you know. But all jokes aside, though, like I think men should not have on lipstick and things like that, you know, like that. There's a whole other conversation, y'all. You know, I don't want to go too deep into it, you know, but. It is what it is. Where the world is going.
That's Nasir.
Yeah, it is. But you hold on. You Nasir. You pick against Shedeur because he wears jewelry. You're like he's this, he's that. But Shedeur still puts in the work. If you saw him with his mom and his brother Thanksgiving, they were talking and eating turkey. He was at a table like this, looking at film.
Yeah, that's
he wasn't even paying attention. You know, he was there.
See the optics. You see the optics, though.
But he was still putting in the work. You know.
Yes.
So I don't. Although, and I said it right here, although Caleb wears his nail polish, he's still been balling now. I mean, I got to give credit.
Yeah, it's great arm talent.
And Shedeur, you know, he's still studying. I don't think I don't judge him. But you don't say anything about other QBs wearing jewelry. You said about the golden goose, as you call him. You don't call nobody else out for wearing jewelry. You only call out Shedeur. That's the difference.
My thing. That's my
You
thing.
know,
I don't like athletes wearing jewelry in the game. I'm one of those guys. I don't baseball. I've been like this since I was young. I don't like seeing
Mhm.
baseball players wear jewelry in the game. I don't like. You don't see basketball players wearing jewelry in the game, and I don't
No,
like seeing
you can get
football
knocked
players wear
out.
jewelry in the game. I don't care what position they play. I don't like to see Justin Jefferson wearing all those diamond necklaces while he playing, and now you got other players doing that.
You
If
be
I
blinding
if
me. I'm like, man, what's he got on? How
if
much
I
is
was
that?
a if I was a cornerback, I'd be like Talib Akib. I'm snatching your chain off. You disrespecting me in the game. Michael Crabtree action. Like
How are you
I
disrespecting because somebody's wearing a chain? Because you
I
can't
don't like
afford
that
it?
because we playing a physical game. It's football. I'm gonna get physical with you. I'm gonna get so physical with you. You gonna wish you had not wore them chains. I'm snatching your chain. Like I just don't like it. I just don't
Mhm.
like players wearing jewelry in the game. Now post game at the press conference, all that
Mhm.
kind of thing. I'm totally fine with it. That's your swag. You get up there and you
What if
do
it's
your
like a good
thing.
luck charm, or like a cross, like sentimental or something that means something to you, like you wear it for like sentimental by your
Yeah, but
mom
check
or
it. You can
like
wear
that?
your check it then. But you want the whole world to see. Like you
Hmm.
want me to pay more attention to your jewelry than to your game.
Hmm.
I'm only want to focus on your game. Can you ball or can you not ball? I don't
Well, Jeff's
care
be
that.
balling.
Don't
Jeff's
try to
be
show
balling.
me. Don't try to show me that I'm making money and I got this chain and I don't care about that. Tuck your chain and go out there and ball because what I don't want to see is you spoil your jewelry and your
Hmm.
game don't match.
But Justin Jefferson be out there balling though.
Yeah, and every time he drop a pass, I say, all right, now that you drop that ball, I need you to take one of them chains off. Every time you drop a pass, take a chain off. And he don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I
Let
get
me.
it, but you're on a losing team. Like, no, like I don't care
And I,
about your
and I said,
chain.
and I said, I think 2 weeks ago, and I'm saying it again. We could definitely use him in Buffalo. Okay, we'll get
I
there
mean, a
later
lot of
on.
teams can use Justin Jefferson.
But no, but we could really use him though. We could really, really use him.
Right.
Press said, what if they start doing eyelashes? Press, you're going somewhere else now. The nail
Oh yeah,
polish
yeah,
and the
yeah.
lashes, I don't even know what to say
Oh
now.
yeah, that's
But
yeah.
when you think about football, you think about like a very violent, rugged, manly,
Alpha
aggressive, like
males.
sport, like. But nowadays, because men are different, you know, and the new wave that's coming out of college, that's coming into the NFL, are very different. So I think as time goes on, football will not be as violent as it once was, based on how some of the players are coming out of college. We're
Right.
gonna see. I think it's gonna kind of switch more like how the NBA is now. It's gonna be more of like high scoring, like offensive games, and like not as like much defense, not much tackling and stuff like that. But we gonna see.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Time will show. Bruce said there are more important things than worrying about a man's nail polish. If men were doing what they were supposed to do at home, no men would wear nail polish. That goes back to how you're raised.
Well,
And I think
once
Caleb's
again,
mom used to do nails. I think she's a nail artist or something like that. And she used to do his nails. That's kind of how he got into it. So that's his mom is a reason for that.
right.
Respectfully. Remember when OBJ was wearing Richard Millie in the game? I don't remember that. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I never was a OBJ fan. I always thought he was questionable too. I thought he was in the Caleb
Hmm.
Williams category, and I just didn't think he was gonna be where everybody wanted him to be. He had one great catch on TV, and
Hmm.
people thought that was everything, and
Hmm.
that's what he's known for, just that catch. But he wasn't really alpha enough, in my opinion, to be a great football player.
Hold on. Marie's comments, then go on to the next topic, y'all, real quick. I'm just gonna read these out. This is from Bruce. Most of these men do not have their fathers in their lives. If we knew everything about athletes, vices, and weird behaviors, we would not support not one of them. Depends on what you're into, Bruce.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on. I just want to go through some of these really quickly before we go on. Save your thought real quick though. Press said Jackson Dart wears jewelry. He just Jackson Dart got a lot of swag. I like Jackson. I really really do. It should be exciting for New York next year for Giants. Maybe the Jets too. We're gonna find out. Aaron Glenn do some big things. The Giants and Jets. We could have two great teams. Dion, MJ, Serena wore jewelry on the field or the court, and they won. True, true. Press LOL. I smell a Cowboy fan. Oh, who's the He's not a
Yeah,
Cowboys fan.
not that Cowboy. I
He's
don't never
not.
remember MJ wearing jewelry in the game either. But
He is
maybe he
not a
had that little
Cowboy.
small little necklace.
And then the seer said OBJ was dominant, big bold print, for at least 2 to 3 years. All
He
right,
had
you
two
guys.
good years in New York.
All right, you guys. I'll move on, and I hate to talk about this. We're gonna go from high flying, great offensive game. We're gonna go. Oh God, to my Buffalo Bills versus the Eagles. I'm gonna let you go first because I'm still pissed. Go. What do you think about this game?
Uh, I can see it from both sides. Honestly, and I'm a Philadelphia Eagles supporter. I was disappointed. I was very proud of the defense. The defense played lights out. They played great. Um,
Yeah,
they
we were
played
just
great. But their
they
offense,
out physical
I
us. I
haven't
mean, we were just embarrassed.
I haven't been impressed with the Eagles offense for the last 7 to 8 weeks.
Hmm.
I haven't been impressed with anything Jalen Hurts has done over the last 7 to 8 weeks. I just don't believe that even though I picked Philadelphia to go to the Super Bowl and win it,
Hmm.
it's very difficult for you to win it when you're playing just one side of the football, one phase of the game or two
Hmm.
phases, because the special teams play pretty good too. But I
Hmm.
need the offense to step up and play well. And it's too many second halves of games where they score no points, where Jalen Hurts has less than 50 yards passing. Total offense. I think they had 14 yards total offense in the second half. Come on, that's
Something
pathetic.
like that.
That's terrible. And for the Buffalo Bills to lose to a team that had those type of offensive numbers in the second half, that's just terrible.
Hmm.
So this game was
Did you leave
the
this game feeling? Well, you already answered the question. I was going to say, did you leave this game feeling, um, I guess, better about the Eagles and their ability
no,
to still win games like this, or
no,
feeling worse about the Buffalo Bills?
no. I felt worse. This game was the antithesis of the
Hmm.
Chicago Bears versus 49ers game.
Hmm.
This was the trash game.
Yeah, it definitely was not
It
exciting at all.
wasn't. It wasn't what the Niners and Chicago
Yeah,
Bears was. This was the
but we
exact
expected. We thought it
opposite.
was going to be a crazy game for sure.
Right. Now, I would give Buffalo Bills defense. Buffalo Bills defense played great yesterday. Philadelphia Eagles
In
defense
that second half,
played
they did.
great, but the offenses, come on, they were putrid, and
Um,
it just. I'm disappointed as an Eagles supporter. I'm
mhm.
not happy about anything I saw from that offense yesterday. It causes me to be discouraged.
I think honestly, like when it comes to a game like this, because the Bills still were able to hang in there and they still had a chance to win this game, or tied and go to overtime, which I think they should have done. Oh my God! But nevertheless, we can't go back. We can only go forward, right? But
Right.
revisiting this game, Eagles obviously started off well in the first half, and then they just said, "We good," in terms of offense. I got to give the Bills defense some credit because we're always talking about the defense not being that good and being questionable, especially me. But the second half of the game, they stepped up. They held the Eagles scoreless. In that second half. So shout out to them for doing it. It was rain, it was cold, it was a lot. When Josh slid, I was like, look at all the water on that freaking field. I was like, somebody's gonna get hurt because of all that water that was on the turf. I was like, man, this is kind of crazy. Um, but even with everything that happened, they still had a chance to come back and win that game. So I'm not completely discouraged, but at the same time, I said a few like weeks now. What happens when James Cook is not having his best game and they're doing a number on Josh, and they did. They were so physical with the Bills, the Eagles defense yesterday. They didn't know what to do. Like the Bills were like, wait, the offense was like struggling. I mean, and I really feel like they need to get somebody else there. And I mean, so much has been said, like, well, man, the Bills don't. Josh doesn't have Patrick. He doesn't have Lamar. Well, it seems he might not have Lamar. We'll talk about that later. And Joe Burrow's not going to be there. This is the year. Like, this is the year
This is the
that
year.
Josh has to do it. When you think about
Right.
some of the talent that's out there, that Texans defense, and not so much CJ, but that Texans
Hmm.
defense. You think about the Patriots, although that can go either way because the Bills also, they beat them as well. They split the season. Um, Bo Nixon and the Bronco defense is out there. Like it's not like there's nobody else. I think it's a lot more talented teams with like really, really
Oh
good
yeah.
defenses this season. So I don't know if it's gonna. I know the expectation was Josh, you got to do it this year. Or it's never gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen right now, and I was just really disappointed. I feel like sometimes Sean McDermott, I'm like, dude, you see the offense has been struggling this entire game. Now I know that the Bills they had momentum, going down the stretch, but the offense as a whole for the whole game was struggling. They were on a struggle bus. Kick the freaking field goal. Go to
Right.
overtime. Go to overtime. Like if the offense had been doing some different things, then okay, you got me, go for it. But when you're trying to hang in there and compete against the Patriots, go to overtime. Go to overtime and figure something out. Trust your defense to get a stop like they have been doing the entire second half against the Eagles. I thought it was the wrong decision completely in totality. Josh overthrew. It was, uh, I'm not happy, y'all.
I
I'm so
think
not happy.
I think
But
Sean
hold on.
McDermott.
Oh, I
I
was going
think
to say
Sean.
for the Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say for the Eagles though. For the Eagles, honestly speaking, I don't. I think the Eagles do some things by choice that we may not like, but the outcome is still a win. Like they're like, we're not gonna do anything to lose this game. Our defense is doing what needs to be done. So if our offense is not given and we're still hanging in there, then that's fine because we're still winning the game. So I think at this point we might just need to accept it. Now playoffs roll around, this might be what comes back to bite them in the end. But right now they're comfortable and they're complacent with their style of play on the offense. So like we're gonna put some points on the board and we're gonna have defense do the rest. And that's good enough for us to win. And they seem content with that.
It can't be like that because the truth of the matter is Buffalo let them off the hook yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sean McDermott, I don't understand. Why are you leaving points on the board? I mean, leaving points off the board. Like that was a chance that they had the opportunity to kick a field goal,
And Josh, yeah,
and
just like a tad
you decide
short.
you want to go for it. And you're in the red zone, of course, and you decide you're going to go for it on like 4th and 3 or whatever. I'm like, just take the points because
Mhm.
Philadelphia offense ain't good. Just stack points up. This is not one of those games where, man, we got to score touchdowns to win. No, you don't have to score touchdowns to win this game. You can just kick field goals and you can win this game. So when you take points off the board, that puts you in the predicament that you were in the end of the game. Now, I do understand what you're saying. Just kick the field goal. Let's go to overtime. That's a reasonable, thing to do. But at the same time, Sean McDermott got it right. He called the right play. The quarterback just missed the wide open receiver. He has to make that play again. That let Philadelphia off the hook. If he can hit Shedeur, who's wide open, the Eagles lose by a point. And then all that stuff talking about, yeah, as long as they got the win, they get the win. No, they got the win because of the things that Buffalo failed to do. They didn't get the win because of the things that they did. So
Always depends
no,
on how you look at it, right? You're like, but they still got the win. But it's like, oh, but Buffalo
yeah,
could have
I
got it.
can't.
It depends on which side you look at it.
No, like I said, what's the opposite of a moral victory? And it was an immoral loss. That's how I feel about it. I feel like both teams lost yesterday, the Eagles and the Bills. There was no winners in that game, only losers.
Mm-hmm. Well, although I mean, I get what you're saying, but you know how how
I mean, they
those
got to put the
sports
win in
go.
somebody's
They
column.
got the win, yeah. No, they got the win in the
Right.
column. Although it wasn't it wasn't an impressive win offensively now, but when I think about a lot of the teams, Caleb obviously is very talented, but you think about a lot of these games, the defense, was the bigger part of why they won these games. Think about the Texans. CJ Stroud's been on
Mm-hmm.
a struggle bus for a while now, but that
Yeah.
Texans defense has been a huge, reason why they won games.
Oh, yes.
Broncos, defense, there's quite a few teams where defense has
Right.
been leading the pack and leading the teams to win. So I think this year we might just get a Eagles team or a Broncos team in the Super Bowl. It might not be a great high scoring game. It might be no more than like 10, 12 points in the Super
Right.
Bowl because a lot of defensive teams are out there in the running for it. but the goal is to still win. Like if they win with 6 points in Super Bowl, I still won a Super Bowl ring.
I mean,
Like, that's all.
just last year we saw Eagles and Chiefs. They were defensive teams. Pat Mahomes had his worst statistical season last year,
Mhm.
but that Kansas City Chiefs defense was a great defense. Same with Philly. Philly didn't have. I mean, outside of Saquon went off last year, but that defense was what put Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. So again, I mean, defense matters, and it's gonna matter this year as well.
Play calling too. Sometimes just take the points. Like don't. Sometimes in games you're trying to clinch a title and division titles. Like sometimes just take the points, and then trust your defense to get a stop and then get back out there and do what you got to do. And we've seen that where that's hurt, some teams, the Lions, in some games this season, not taking the points and always just going for it. Sometimes you got to take the points. That's an Nasir. That's an OC issue rather than Jalen Hurts. At first I was putting it on the OC. In my opinion, I was doing it. I'm not sure about you, Notty, but at this point now, Nick Sirianni could have been stepped in. Like he's the head coach, he could have been stepped in and said, no, let's do this, let's do that. He has not said anything. To me, the offense doesn't look that much better.
No, it ain't got nothing to do with the offense. Yeah. Quarterback. Anytime you have an offense that has less than 50 yards total in the second half, that ain't got nothing to do with the coordinator. I mean, if you complete 2 passes, that's 50 yards, man. I mean, matter of fact, let me go even deeper. When you have a quarterback that completes no passes in the whole half of a football game, that ain't got nothing to do with the coordinator. That got everything to do with that individual quarterback. Because you can have the coordinator not call any plays, and you can go draw it up in the dirt.
I don't think it's just Jalen though. I mean, because one thing about Jalen Hurts, he is consistent. He don't really vary too much in terms of how he plays the game. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get what you're gonna get. He's like, I'm gonna make sure we win the game. I don't care if it look pretty. I don't care if it look ugly. As long as we win, that's all that matters to me. 3 points and the 35 points, that's it.
Right.
So for me, because he's been so consistent like that for quite a few seasons now, no matter if they won, no matter if they lost, no matter who the OC was, DC, like I can't say it's him. I don't think it's him.
Well, I mean,
solely.
I'm saying the way the offense looks is him, but also the winningness contributed to him too, because when your defense is playing lights out the way the Philadelphia Eagles defense is playing, a lot of times I come on here, even with the Houston Texans, I say, CJ Stroud, just don't turn the ball over. Well, Jalen Hurts, he don't want to turn the ball over. He's not going to risk it. And so even though he didn't complete any passes in the second half, he didn't turn the ball over, and he allowed his defense to go out there and win the game. So for that, I give him credit for doing what it takes to win the game by not giving the others. Yes, he's managing.
He's doing what you think Lamar should do a little bit. He's managing.
Right. He didn't put his defense in a obscure situation. He didn't give Buffalo the ball on their own 30 or on their own 40 where they're already in scoring position. He allowed the special teams to punt the ball and pin the Buffalo Bills back and allow the defense to make them drive 80, 90 yards up the field. So from that aspect, yes, he did. He showed winning intangibles, but when you talk about having no completions in the second half and having, I think they had 14 total yards of offense in the second half, that's because the quarterback just isn't lighting it up. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And I'm not going to sit here.
Last year, it was more Saquon who was doing all the nice stuff that we saw.
Well,
it wasn't so much Jalen.
You're correct. Well, what happened with last year, Saquon was running wild, and now teams had to pick their poison. They were like, we're going to stop Saquon. We're going to put 8 in the box. Well, once they put 8 in the box, now, I mean, you're going to have either a wide open Devontae Smith, a wide open Goddard, or a wide open A.J. Brown. And it was easier and you seen how he dissected the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I mean, and he was Super Bowl MVP, and rightly so, because he played excellent in the Super Bowl. Now teams are like, we're not really worried about Saquon as much. We're going to drop back. We're going to play a little bit more zone. I mean, they got film. You cannot run the same. You have to make adjustments. And I think they have made those adjustments. But at the same time, it's just because Jalen Hurts is not an elite passer of the ball anyway. He's
Mhm.
just he's an average quarterback, but he has winning intangibles. So I'll take the winning, but I'm okay with saying that he's just not a prolific passer like that. And that's
Mhm.
what the offense has called for. That's why AJ Brown, he's doing all those antics. He was talking about the offense. And I told you, I said AJ Brown real problem is with Jalen Hurts. It's not with the offense. Because he ain't calling out the coaches. He ain't calling out the offensive coordinators. He's talking about
Mhm.
that quarterback.
Like I always say, if it ain't directed, it ain't respected. Okay, put a
All right.
name on it, address it.
Well, you
Okay,
can't do
so we
that.
know who we're supposed to go to. Like if you're not gonna be
Right.
direct, then be quiet. Don't tweet nothing. No, not now, nothing. Okay,
Right.
give us the
I feel
real
that though.
AJ, or don't say nothing. Huh?
I mean, I feel that I'd rather him not say anything than cause a distraction. But I understand where he was
It was
coming
a
from.
distraction though. We were like,
Yeah,
oh
I'm
man,
saying it was.
AJ
That's what I'm
Brown
saying.
not
I
happy. Look
prefer
at what he tweeted. So
right. I
yeah.
prefer he not do that at all and just keep it
Hmm.
in house. But since he didn't keep it in house, I can at least say, well, I agree with him. But
Hmm.
yeah, just keep that in house. We don't need those extra distractions.
This right here is going to be a quick take because it's been a lot of conversation past couple of days about one Max Crosby. Do you think or do you feel that he will be out, and on to a new team next season?
No, I don't think so.
You think he's going to be a Raider for life?
Yeah. I mean, he just got money last year. They just paid him.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's one of your main attractions in Las Vegas. You don't let players like that go. Those guys don't. You don't. Those guys don't come around very so
Mhm.
often. When you got a Max Crosby, you keep those guys. But I like Max Crosby because he's passionate about the game. He wants to win, and more importantly, he wants to play. He doesn't care what the record is. I want to get out there and play. I want to play my hardest. I want to try to win football games, and I just love the game, and I love that. I love football players who have that mentality and that
Mhm.
attitude. But the truth of the matter is, he's hurt, and he does need surgery. And the team knows
Well, he was
that,
hopping on that little trampoline, or was it trampoline with
yeah,
his daughter?
yeah. But now he's about to go have surgery tomorrow. So I'm just
Hmm.
saying the team knows that you're injured. They know that you're a warrior. They know you want to get out there, but the season is over with. Go ahead and
Hmm.
get this surgery so you can be
Hmm.
ready for the off season because next year we plan on being a lot better than we are this year. And we're
Hmm.
gonna need you. We don't need you possibly hurting this injury any more than it's already hurt. Go ahead and get the surgery, rehab, and also have an opportunity to continue to get
Hmm.
better in the off season. And next year we'll be there. But I understand his frustration and
Hmm.
him being upset. But that's how he's supposed to be because he's a competitor. If he wasn't upset, then I'd be concerned.
I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if I'm Buffalo, I am doing my damnedest to get that
Oh
man
yeah. You got to call
to
now. You got
Buffalo.
to you got to call him.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you
They
got
may
to
be like,
call
"Nah,
him.
it's not happening, Buffalo. Don't call somebody else." But I'm
Right.
gonna try. I'm gonna try. When you got a QB who's super talented, and you know you're missing some pieces. For me, you have a responsibility as an owner, GM, to do everything you can within your power to get your franchise to Super Bowl to win. You
Right.
do. And if honestly speaking, when I think about the Raiders, like how much could you get for someone like
Not
Max
enough.
of his caliber? You
Not
know,
enough.
um, I'm, I mean, you have him there, yes.
Yeah.
But you're still losing.
Yeah, you lose.
Like it's
You're
not
not losing because of
nothing.
Max
Nothing's
Crosby.
happening. No, I'm not saying losing because of him. I'm not saying that at all.
Right.
But I'm paying him all this money. Obviously, you like him, the
Yeah.
fans love him, and so on and so forth. But for me, I'm thinking like, what can I get in terms of if I give some picks, some cash or whatever it is, draft picks, things of that nature. What can I get in return for someone like Max to get this team where it needs to go? Because you have him there, yes, and he's talented and he's great. He's a
Right.
dog, all these different things, but it's not resulting in winning. Not because of him, anything that he's doing,
Right.
but the overall fact of the matter is that you're not winning. You got Miles Garrett out there in Cleveland, but you're not really winning at the same time. It's been that way for quite a few
Mm-hmm.
years. So for me, I don't know if I'm Buffalo, I'm calling. I'm
Yeah,
calling. I'm
yeah. You
calling.
gotta call. You
New
gotta
England
call.
too. I
But
might put a call in.
a lot of team, every team should call. Hell, you gotta go. Hey, is Max Crosby available? Because those guys just don't come around. You got what
Mhm.
three of those guys? You got T.J. Watt, you got Miles Garrett, you got Max
Mhm.
Crosby. Like
Yeah.
that's. I mean, you might got a couple more guys, but that's pretty much the list. So what you do? Because see, this is the problem with trading them. Same problem Jerry Jones got with trading Michael Parsons. He's gonna have to
Mhm.
find out. You can get a whole bunch of draft picks, but just
Mhm.
because you get draft picks don't mean you're gonna when you're trying to find another Max Crosby. That's what you're trying to find in the draft. And you can go get all the draft picks in the world. If they don't pan out, then you got nothing. You pretty much gave him away.
Well,
So
Jerry has drafted well, though. I will give
yeah,
him
yeah,
that. Despite
Jerry
all his
Jerry has
foolishness,
drafted
he
well.
drafts well.
Yeah, Jerry has drafted well, but
Mhm.
that's Jerry. Now we're talking about the
Mhm.
Raiders. Like
Yeah.
can you go out and get another Max Crosby? Now, if it was guaranteed, okay, one of these three
No
draft picks I'm gonna trade
guarantees.
because we're gonna get three draft picks. One of
Mhm.
these guys is definitely gonna be another Max Crosby, but I don't have to pay him right away. Then yeah, you
Maybe
go
he
make
can
that
get you
trade.
two Jalen Carter types.
Yeah, but you don't know if you getting Jalen Carter. You don't know if these guys who you
Mhm.
draft are gonna be good or not.
Mhm.
Sometimes your first round draft pick is a bust, but that guy
Yeah.
who you picked up as an undrafted free agent end up being a Pro Bowl player. You just don't know, and because I can't trade Max Crosby for an unknown when I already know what I have sitting right here in the building. I have someone who I can win with if I can get the other pieces to manifest. So yeah, I'm not trained Max Crosby. If I'm the Raiders,
Mhm.
I not right now. Not right now. I have to wait until maybe
Mhm.
another year or two. But right now, nah, I can't trade him. He's just too valuable to my franchise, to my fan base, and to everything that we're trying to do in Las Vegas.
I don't know what they're trying to do, honestly speaking, because it looked like they were trying to do a whole bunch of nothing this season. I don't know what was the conversation. I'm like, what did we talk about in the off season? What was the vision?
Yeah, it was.
Because I honestly cannot tell, based on the outcome at all. I'm like, I don't know what we spoke about at all. I wish I could be a fly on the wall for those conversations that took place, even as the season progressed. Like what were we talking about here, people? Because I really cannot tell. It's like baffling to me.
Their organization was a sham this year. I mean, you start off with Tom Brady being minority owner and coming in and having the ability to make decisions, particularly at the quarterback position. And then you go
Tom
and the
said he
coach.
didn't have that much say.
Yeah, he had enough say. I mean, he had enough say. Now he's not the general manager and things
Hmm.
like that. They're gonna have more say, but he had input on what was going on.
Hmm.
And Pete Carroll, I like Pete Carroll, but I just don't think I think the game is passing by. I
I think
think
so
now
too.
that's a situation where I
Say
think they
that.
need to
Yeah.
say, you know what, Pete, we appreciate you coming in and maybe we can push you up to an advisory role somewhere, but we're gonna go in a different direction at the head coach. And we're
What about
gonna
Gino? Gino.
I don't think Gino was the problem. I think they're
You
good with
don't?
Gino. No, I don't think
I, I,
Gino is the
I,
problem.
I would get rid of him.
I think everything around Gino was the problem. See, this is a situation where I will blame coaching. Clearly, Chip Kelly has never been a good offensive coordinator in the NFL, but
Hmm.
they keep giving him a shot because of what he does in college. He's good
Hmm.
for college when you run that spread offense and you doing all those gimmicky things at Oregon and all that. Yeah, that works in college. That don't work
Hmm.
in the NFL. Stop bringing Chip Kelly in to be your offensive coordinator. It's proven not to work. Um, Pete Carroll again. I think the game is just passing by. I mean, I'm watching practices and you out there wrestling with your players WWE when this is football. You need to be coaching football, not wrestling. So
Okay, so
again,
and Pete's
Gino,
and I'm gonna give Pete. Okay, we got to give Pete just a little bit. Okay, maybe Pete was trying to show them something that maybe he was thinking, or
yeah,
maybe the vibes were kind of low, and he was trying to get the vibes back up to
yeah,
finish out practice on a high. Maybe it was just a little. Maybe it was some downtime in
you're
between.
right.
You know what I mean? It could be. It could
But
be now.
optics when you lose, and that's not good optics when you
Like it was,
losing
yeah,
games.
optics definitely was
Well, what
bad.
I'm
Yeah.
saying about Gino just didn't fall off off the train. Like Gino's been a good quarterback over the last 4 or 5 years. He's been solid. He's a good quarterback. But I mean, I watch those games. I don't give a damn who you put back there at quarterback. You could have had Tom Brady back there at quarterback. Wasn't gonna look good. No quarterback in the league was gonna look good behind what Gino had to play with. I mean, then you got rid of his best receiver and Jacoby Myers, and what did he do? He go to Jacksonville and he looked all world. Like, come on, man. Like, no, I'm not putting
He's
this
like,
on
thank
Gino.
you.
Yeah, I'm not putting this on Gino at all, which is why I don't believe that the Las Vegas Raiders, and we'll see, but I don't think they're gonna draft a quarterback in the first round. They'll pick before the Jets. I think the Jets are gonna take the first quarterback. I think that the Raiders will take a quarterback, but I don't think it will be in the first round. They'll draft somebody to put behind Gino and develop. And if Gino plays bad next year, then they'll bring that young guy up and allow him to play. But they just paid Gino last season. I mean, coming into this season, they just paid him. So they're not going to get rid of Gino right now. I'm pretty sure Tom Brady and those guys, the guys in that building who know football and understand football, they saw the same thing I saw. And I applaud Gino for even going out there every game and doing his best.
If I could find somebody who want to take on that contract, get him out of here. You can take him. I'm good. I've seen enough. I saw enough. And I could see why Seattle was like, bye. Like, we'll take our chances and see what happens with Sammy this season. I'm like, I know that obviously coaching makes a difference, and obviously you got to have weapons, all these different things. What's up, Alex? Shout out to you for coming through the chat. We appreciate you. But there were some throws. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, he looked lost sometimes. Like, he didn't look confident at all. And like, Gino's been around the league for a while. Like, he's not new. So some of the things that I saw, I was like, Gino, what's going on?
But they got
like,
the worst offensive line in all of football. That offensive line is horrid. Those guys who play on Gino's offensive line, I'm sorry, those guys are not NFL offensive linemen. Those guys have no reason being in the NFL. I mean, it was just awful. Like, no quarterback can play behind what Gino was forced to play with this year. Again, I'm just happy that Gino, like, I'm pretty sure Gino gained all the respect from his teammates just for sticking it out, just for getting in there and be willing to play, not bowing out. He could have bowed out and nobody would have had anything to say. But he went back down. He took that beating. He took that beating every week for those guys. And for that, I give him kudos. I give him kudos for what he did. And I'm not really one of those guys who I like to put more accountability on the players, but at the same time, I got to understand what I'm watching. And what I'm watching, that
you taking everything and putting on everybody else and not Gino at all.
I'll put some of it on. I'll put a small percentage on Gino because he played, but I know how football is the ultimate team game, and if you don't have the pieces around you and you don't have the right coaching staff around you, you don't have like we talked about system earlier. What's Gino's system? He doesn't have a system. You just got a guy back there and you telling them to go out there and play. Like, no, what's the system? What are we trying? What's the strategy? What are we trying to do? How are we trying to move the ball from point A to point B? And until you can get somebody in there who can give him a system, then that's what you're gonna have. I don't care who you got back there.
Pete Carroll is not new, although he's older. He's not new to coaching, you know. So although his methods might be a bit antiquated, like I'm pretty sure he knows the basis in terms of just putting a system in place.
No, but he doesn't. I mean, just think about this. Think about Pete Carroll, his coaching career. Even we can go back to Seattle when he had rest.
Hold on. Before we go down Pete Carroll's history, I was gonna say I can't give Gino a pass because we put a lot on QBs, especially you when you've been paid.
Oh, yeah.
When you have been paid, expectation is that you're gonna make up, or at least you're gonna do your damnedest to make up for what's not around you. And in a lot of those games, I didn't see Gino really do much of anything. Now, granted, he maybe needs some different pieces and things of that nature, but I'm like, it's a no for me. I mean, when we look at Joe Burrow, he We watched him and Jamar Chase, go back and forth pretty much last season. That was really how
Right.
they put points on the board. It wasn't like he
Right.
had like all these different weapons and things around him. The O line was okay. Defense was not really defending, obviously, but they still put up points.
Yeah.
There's
I
not,
mean, he got
I
two
mean, how
number
many
one
games?
receivers.
How many? But he still had one person. He still had one weapon. It wasn't like he was like a whole like plethora of like just different players out there running back, all these different things that were the reason they put up numbers. It was really a two-man show. And T Higgins was there as well. Don't get me wrong, in there.
Yeah, I
But
finna say T Higgins. He
for
had
the most
weapons.
part, for the most part, his go-to first and foremost is always going to be Chase, which is why he was the triple crown
Right.
winner last
Right.
season as well.
He's the best wide
So
receiver in the game.
I know that that Genty is new, but Homeboy's talented. If you got to use him every single game for the most part, then use him.
He don't call the plays. Gino just run the
You
plays
know.
that's being called. See,
So
this the
so on
thing.
one hand we say Jalen Hurts has the
Yeah, because
ability
it's
to
different.
change plays and things of that nature, but now we're saying Gino don't call the plays.
Yeah, because it's different. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You got to go back into the history of Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is what you would call a good. He's in the Mike Tomlin category. He motivates
Mm-hmm.
players. His energy is high. He can get guys going. Guys want to run through a brick wall for Pete Carroll. But even if you go back to Seattle, and I hated this about Seattle, like they never really had a good offensive system.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't call the offense. Brian Bavel called the offense, and it wasn't good. That's why Bavel is nobody's offensive coordinator. Russell Wilson, all they would do is tell Russell Wilson to hike the ball, run around. When everything gets screwed up because you've been running around for 4-5 seconds, either run or throw the ball deep. And it worked because they had the Legion of Boom who wasn't giving up points. So it worked.
Mm-hmm.
They won a Super Bowl playing that style of football, but that wasn't sustainable. And it wasn't good. The offense in Seattle wasn't good. Even when Russ was there, Russ did his thing. Russ was what you call a playmaker. He wasn't a game manager. Russ was the whole offense because they would hike the ball. Everything was off script. Russ will run around for 3 or 4 seconds. Then he'll either run or he just throws it deep. Well, that's not a good offensive system.
Mm-hmm.
Pete Carroll, as all the years he's been the head coach in the league, he's never had a good offensive system because he doesn't call offense. He doesn't have an offensive background as his history. He's a player motivator. He's very good at that. That's why you see him WWE wrestling with players.
So what was the motivation for this team this year then?
Yeah, but that's the problem.
If that's what his thing is, going by what you're saying, then what happened?
Yeah, that's why I said the game has passed him by. He's down to 80 years old. I don't think his voice is getting across to the players. First of all, his voice isn't getting across to the players like it might have once had. But also, you just don't have the players. You can rah all you want, but if you don't got the players who can go actually execute and play hard based on the system that you have, which they don't have a system at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just like I said, that organization has been run poorly all season. You have no offensive system. You don't have any good players. The good players that you did have, you got rid of them, or they didn't want to be there. Hey, you know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. But I mean, Gino got his money. So anytime you get your money and you the quarterback, again, you get too much credit for winning, and you get way more blame than you should when you don't win. So I get it, but I'm not blaming Gino at all for that debacle.
I'm giving him some blame because some of them games out there, he looked awful. I'm like, come on, Gino, you're not new. I can't give you the rookie grace. Like, oh well, he's new and he needs to figure some stuff out. Like, you've been in this thing a long time, and some of the play I saw out there by Gino this season, I'm like, no, not where you are right now at this stage in your career. Alex said Dante Moore is a dog. I hope the Jets draft him.
That could be a guy that Dante Moore is expected to be either the first or the second quarterback drafted in this year's draft. So there's that. So like I said, it's gonna come down to their evaluations, and whoever they evaluate to be the better quarterback, then that's who they'll take.
Read this comment really quickly before we go to the last topic. Nasir said Beast Mode
That
was a
is true.
crucial part of the offense.
Yeah, he was huge. I mean, and one of the reasons why Seattle ended up breaking up and Legion of Boom broke up, and one of the reasons why a lot of those players, and then I don't put this on Russ, I put this more on Pete Carroll, but a lot of those players from the Legion of Boom, they never have anything good to say about Russ because they believe in that Super Bowl, Pete Carroll was trying to make Russell Wilson the star instead of giving to Marshawn Lynch on the 1 yard line and let Marshawn Lynch get the score. Instead, he put the ball in Russ's hand. Russ throws the pick. New England wins the Super Bowl. So they still feel salty to this day about that. But that wasn't a Russell Wilson decision. That was a head coaching decision. Pete Carroll made a call to take the ball out of beast mode hand and let Russell Wilson go out there and try to be Super Bowl MVP. So I just don't think that their frustrations are pointed at the in the direction of the right person. They should be angry at Pete Carroll.
Yeah, but at this point, I'm like, y'all gotta let that go now. At this point, I'm like, it's been so long. Like
they don't let it go. I mean, it just, and I
if
hear
you're gonna hold on to it, then at least direct it who needs to be directed to.
Yeah, they feel, I agree with that. It's funny because Shannon Sharp always talks about the one playoff loss they had to Jacksonville. He'll never let it go. This happened 30 years ago. That one loss they had in the playoffs in 96 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Broncos were a better team, but the Jaguars got hot coming into the playoffs and they upset the Broncos. And Shannon Sharp just won't let that one go. That one stings him to this day. And to this day, he don't like the Jacksonville Jaguars because of that playoff game. So players don't let that kind of thing go. It's going to be something that's going to linger with them forever because they know how close they were to greatness. And they let it slip through their hands.
The coach that made, or whoever made the call.
That is a head coaching decision.
Because Russ is always the one that everybody talks about, or they talk about, when they talk about what happened in Seattle and so on and so forth. I'm like, if the coach is the one that did it, then talk to the coach, man.
Exactly.
Like, be angry with the coach.
Hey, I agree.
You keep calling out Russ about it, so that's the problem. Like, come on now.
I agree. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some more stuff in the locker room that we're not privy to until somebody writes the book.
Too, yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we're just going to talk about that particular play, don't put that on Russ. Put that on whoever made the decision to call that play. And that's going to come down to the head coach. He was
feeling like me, and Russ we trust. That's
right.
He was feeling like me.
That's the problem.
It didn't work out.
Everybody trusted Beast Mode. Everybody and their mama knew Beast Mode was going to get that ball. We were all surprised. I was surprised when everybody, like people who I know weren't watching football, they were like, yeah, get to that guy with the dreads back there. Like, that's going to win you the game.
All right, y'all, we're going to go on to the last segment, you guys. We're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. We're going to go to Nasir's favorite topic, his favorite person, his favorite QB in the whole wide world. Nasir, if you're still here, we are going to talk about Shedeur in just a second. But overall, starting out with the Cleveland Browns versus honestly speaking, I think I had told you this. I thought that the Steelers, because they have Aaron Rodgers and he's so experienced, and they have Mike Tomlin, who you always rave about, I was like, they're going to figure out what to do against Cleveland because the offense is so just not really that good.
Right.
And then you got, a rookie QB out there who's struggling, who's still trying to find his way, although still making strides. So I thought I think it was going to be a blowout, like it was going to be like 40 points and nothing like that, because obviously with credit to Cleveland Browns defense. But I did have them winning this game and, just shutting it down. No Ravens, no nothing. But that is not the case because the Browns, they got the upset now. The Ravens are like, thank you, Shedeur and Myles Garrett and so on and so forth. How are you feeling, though, when you watched this game? Were you disappointed by the Steelers?
What did I tell you before the game?
You said you had Cleveland winning, right?
All right, so it wasn't really an upset if you understand. Pittsburgh was missing too many players in key areas. I mean, Cleveland defense has been really good this year. Without DK Metcalf, this is one of the reasons why I was so disappointed with DK Metcalf to the point where I'm saying I would let him go.
So you think DK is the only reason why they lost that game?
He's the reason they lost that game. Yes.
You think so? He's the only nothing else was a contributing factor, really?
He's the major. He's the
Because they still got weapons. They got what's his name,
no. They don't
Kenneth.
have weapons. DK is their
You
only
don't think
weapon.
you don't think Gainwell's weapon? Gainwell's
No,
weapon?
Gainwell's gonna somebody's gonna get him backup running back money next year. He's gonna get paid. He's gonna get a raise. But Kenny Gainwell is not. He's not even the starting running back. He's the backup. Jalen Warren is a starting running back. He's a third tier running back. That's what you have. You got 2 third tier running backs back there. They're solid. They can play, but you don't. You lost your deep threat. You lost your playmaking threat in DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf opens it up for the Calvin Austins, for the Adam Thielens, for the other little wide receiver, Roman Wilson. That's DK opens that up for them. Without DK, they don't have to respect none of those guys. We're not worried about none of those guys. Jalen Ramsey didn't play. They had guys on the offensive line who weren't playing. So, and then Myles Garrett spoke about it after the game. He said they did so much to try to stop me from getting a sack that they risked their own game because
I think that was really it. More honestly, not saying that DK didn't have anything to do with it, but I think focusing more on him not getting a record was what really took them away from winning the game. Because
you're missing guys on the offensive line, so now you got to put 2 and 3 guys on Myles Garrett, which is going to allow other guys to eat. So at the end of the day, that's why I was telling you before the game. I was like, I told you I expect Cleveland to win. Not I think they're gonna win. Well, I believe they can win. No, I expect Cleveland. If Cleveland doesn't win, they're just awful. Pittsburgh is not a better team coming into that game. So, I mean, the game went just as I expected it to go. And like I told you, it's over with for Pittsburgh. I just don't see how they're going to beat Baltimore. I don't care who's at quarterback, whether it's Lamar Jackson or Tyler Huntley. I don't see how you're going to score enough points to win the football game that you really need to win. So, yeah, DK Metcalf hurt the team, and I would get rid of him. But, I mean, reports has been said that they're going to stick with him and they're going to pay him all his money. I say that $45 million. I get rid of him, and I move on in another direction.
I wouldn't get rid of him. I wouldn't when you think about, his production and what he, his what he means to the team. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is gonna stay, he's gonna retire. I'm not sure what they're gonna do about that part. But I don't like what he did, but people make mistakes. You know what I mean? Costly mistake, but still a mistake. I think if he could take it back, obviously hindsight is always 20/20, but you can't go back. You can only make better decisions going forward. I don't think if he think about how the whole thing played out, how it affected the team and them losing, like, man, I really should have did better. But you can't go back. I don't expect him to do anything like that ever again, after what happened. So I wouldn't get rid of him, not just yet. I wouldn't, and if I might not pay him a full $45 million in incentives now because of the cost, especially if they lose next week. But if they're still going to pay him all that money, all his money, then I guess God's looking out for him. If he still gets it, we gonna see.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Personally, I hope he gets his money.
Hey, Ricky.
I hope he gets his money. Now, I'm saying, like, me as a person, I hope he gets his money. If I'm Pittsburgh, I'll let him go. If I was in that organization and I was making the decisions, I can't win with a guy like DK. He's selfish. I can't win with selfish players. And
I'm thinking about you think about his performance with the team. He has, huh? What you say?
Go ahead.
Oh
no, I just say he's selfish. I can't win with him.
When you think about his play with the team, like he's been an asset for this team. Right. That one act is one part, but I don't want it to be something that for me, is going to define what he's been to the team the entire season. Obviously a really, really, costly mistake, should have done things differently. But look, I keep saying everybody's not disciplined. I think sometimes we expect too much of NFL and NBA players, MLB, however you want to go about it. They're still people. Everybody's not mature. People got anger problems. Some people too sensitive. They take everything to heart. You know what I mean? They want to spit and do other things unnecessarily. Like, they still people. They make a lot of money, but they still got issues. And he needs to go talk to somebody about his anger and be more disciplined.
Yeah, that would be a requirement if I keep him. If I keep him on the team, he will be required to go to anger management
I can
classes
agree with
and
that.
right and
I can agree with
go
that.
seek therapy. That would be a requirement if you want to stay on this team. Unfortunately, because this is DK's only year that he's been in Pittsburgh, I
Yeah.
hate to be the harbinger of bad news, but this is what he's gonna be remembered for. He's not gonna be remembered for his play this season. He's gonna be remembered for that, for getting suspended and costing the team. So that it is what it is.
Moving on to some of these comments. Vicky says Steelers are done.
Yep.
Steelers and Ravens limping to the finish line. LOL. Uh, Steelers run defense is horrible. Derrick Henry is going to have a field day on Sunday versus the Steelers defense. Ricky also says Steelers are not going to have an answer for Derrick Henry running the ball. And then Seahawks made a good choice to trade DK to the Steelers. I know that everybody thinks Steelers are going to be out. Keeping in mind, Aaron Rodgers, maybe his final, season in NFL. A lot of these things be scripted sometimes too, I believe. You know what I mean? So
Of course.
just for Aaron Rodgers to make it to the playoffs in his final season, do we Lamar or Aaron Rodgers from an NFL perspective? Aaron Rodgers' final playoff run. I don't know. I don't know. For that reason alone, nothing else. It might be a closer game than we think. I could see the Steelers winning that game for that reason alone. I could see a call or two going in their favor, and it's like, oh, Aaron Rodgers to the playoffs. He did it. Mike Tomlin did it again.
Yeah, but neither of these teams are good enough to
Well, one got to win though.
Yeah, one got to win. Just like somebody got to win the BUCS and Panthers game. Somebody gonna win and go to the playoffs. But that's a one and done situation. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers. Well, I would prefer if Lamar is healthy. I would prefer to see Lamar play. But
I would say if you get in, you can win.
But I support the Steelers, so I really would hope that Aaron Rodgers can go out, and compete for a championship in his last hurrah. But I mean, just the truth of the matter is, the offense ain't good enough, bro. You don't got weapons. Your biggest weapons bowed out. You know what I'm saying? So it's over with unless your defense play lights out. They have to play lights out. Commit to stopping Derrick Henry. Force whoever is the quarterback for Baltimore this week, force them to beat you with the arm. Force them to beat you with Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad Bateman, and those guys. Force them to do that. And at the same
quite a few guys you name though. That's quite a few
guys. And at the same time, hope that
everybody.
Arthur Smith can somehow come up with an offense that allows you to move the ball, not only move the ball, but to keep Lamar Jackson off the field. Meaning you have to win a time of possession game. If you can win a time of possession game and your defense plays lights out, then yeah, you got a chance to win this game. But without DK, that offense.
I'm actually more worried for the Ravens if Lamar is out there because I don't think he'll be 100% healthy. I don't. If you go into this game, you can be out there. That doesn't mean that you're healthy while you're out there. So I'm the Ravens, and Lamar is not like he can't at least weather through and mask it. You know what I mean? 80% or something. I'm not putting you out there, dude.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead with Tyler, and rock out, and get this win, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, like playoffs come, your back is healed, the contusion is gone, and you ready to go out there and be marvelous.
Yeah,
but
I'm not doing that.
They can win. I mean, I don't think it's wise to risk it. I don't think him coming back next week will be healthy. I don't think so.
What I'm saying is this: if Tyler Huntley goes out there and win this football game, go and shut Lamar down. I have to start Tyler Huntley in the playoffs. I can't go back to Lamar.
Why not if he's healthy at this point?
Because Tyler Huntley would have. I got to ride the hot hand. This is just what I got to do. Lamar Jackson hasn't played well the last 5 weeks of the season. Let's just be honest. And you've come on here and you said, well, I don't think Lamar Jackson is healthy and all this. Okay. Well, he ain't going to. And guess what? He ain't going to get healthy. He ain't going to get healthy until the off season.
I mean, he looked
So
really good to start, the last game before he went down, with his back. I was like, okay, like Lamar's out there, he got urgency. They look
right,
good. He was looking really good. And I was like, okay. And then that
right.
happened. I was like,
If whoever start this game and win is the guy you got to go with going forward. That's why I told you. I said if I start Tyler Huntley, I gotta shut Lamar down.
mm-hmm.
I gotta go
They're not
ahead
going to
and
do that. You're not going to
you
shut him
know
down.
it's similar. And I've seen this plenty of times in the NFL. I mean, Troy Aikman was the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He got hurt. They put Steve Berline in. Steve Berline went on a winning streak. He got hot. They ended up making the playoffs. Troy Aikman was healthy. He was ready to come back and lead the team.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, "We're sorry, Troy. We got to go with Steve Berline.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ride the hot hand. This is the league. I can't go back to you after this man that won 8 straight games. I can't do it.
Has Tyler Huntley won 7 to 8 games?
No, he hasn't won 7 or 8 games, but
Oh,
he's
okay.
won big.
I missed something.
No,
Okay.
no, I'm saying, but he's won big games. He's the reason why you're gonna be in the position to even be in the playoffs. And he's played well, and
He has played well, but I'm gonna
he's
give Derrick
probably
Henry some
healthier
credit.
than Lamar
Making
Jackson.
sure you get Derrick Henry the ball is huge part of
Yeah,
the reason why you won
that's
yesterday.
key. That's the key. Anybody can
Not
hand.
sitting him down in the
I
fourth
can go
quarter and
hand
whatnot.
Derrick Henry the ball if that's what they need. Just give me
Right?
that
Like
little
don't
check.
sit Derrick Henry down in key moments of the game. Like put him
Right.
keep him in the field.
That's the
That's
key.
something else. That's Now will he be able to run, 216, who knows? We're gonna see what the Steelers cook up. Mike Tomlin, he wanna win now. He gonna
Right.
figure he's gonna try to do something. He's gonna try
Oh
to do
yeah, he
something.
gonna coach his ass off. That's what he does. But I'll put it like
His
this.
ass off. I didn't see that
Yeah,
yesterday, but I
his ass off. Yeah, he was had his handcuffed. I'll say this.
if you're gonna coach his ass off, you can't say his hands cuffed.
No matter
You
what,
can't go on both
no.
sides.
I'm saying DK Metcalf hurt the team. I mean,
So then he can't. So
Mike
him
Tomlin
coaching
doesn't.
his ass off
Mike Tomlin
depends on
doesn't.
if DK is
Mike
there.
Tomlin, yeah, but Mike Tomlin doesn't call offense. Arthur Smith calls the offense. Mike Tomlin has nothing to do with offense.
No, I'm talking
Now,
about
he
the
might
defense.
tell you in the situation, I want you to run right here as opposed to passing or something like this. But at the end of the day, Arthur Smith calls the offense, and that's one thing about Mike Tomlin.
Then
He
on your
delegates.
defense and make them help them.
Now that
Missing the
defense played great
offense,
yesterday. Yeah, the defense turned Shedeur over twice. They
every
only
team
gave up
respectfully,
right.
and I love Shedeur.
Right, they only gave up 13 points. They gave up 10 points in the first half. So their defense was excellent yesterday.
I mean, but they also lost, a key weapon, in Cleveland as well for Shedeur, in that game.
Harry Fanning went down in the game.
I think it would have been better had he had his guy out there.
That was a huge loss for the Noah Njoku. But at the end of the day, the defense in Pittsburgh wasn't the problem. The problem is the offense. And like I said, Arthur Smith got his homework cut out for him. He has to go in the lab and come up with a creative way for Pittsburgh to score points this week, or else they're gonna be at the house. And Arthur Smith, in my opinion, Arthur Smith is not a good offensive coordinator. I don't like that he's the offensive coordinator.
I didn't think he was last year. Everybody blame Russ.
He's never been a good offensive coordinator. I didn't like that for Russ last year. If you can, well, you went. I was doing another podcast, but I told him, I said I don't like Russ being with Arthur Smith. He's not a good offensive coordinator. You have to know Arthur Smith's history.
Mm-hmm.
He was the Tennessee Titans.
Hold on. Before we go down Arthur Smith's history, because honestly speaking, I don't think he's that good. But Mike Tomlin decided to keep him. So that you decide to keep him, so it is what it is. If we're going with Derrick Henry, if we're going with DK Metcalf, and we're saying that the offense is going to be on a struggle bus because they don't have DK Metcalf, then to me, defense got to be the reason that you win this game. They got to keep the game as close as possible for you to win by a touchdown or a field goal kick or something, which goes back to Mike Tomlin. Like if they're going to obviously try to force. They're going to try to force feed Derrick Henry, obviously, let him do what he does. Can you slow him down? Can you stop him? Can you limit him?
They will slow him down. I mean, I don't think Derrick Henry is going to run for 200 yards this week.
I don't think it'll be 200. No.
I don't think he's going to go for 120 this week.
What you think about 60?
Maybe 70 yards. Because I believe Baltimore is going to hand Derrick Henry the ball. I believe they're going to get him the ball 20 plus times, 25 times, maybe even 30 times if they can. And I think the Steelers' focus is going to be, let's stop Derrick Henry. Let's force whoever is the quarterback to throw the ball. Now, I was saying Tyler Huntley. I think at this point of the season, based off what we've seen from Lamar the last 6-7 weeks, Tyler Huntley is more mobile than Lamar Jackson right now.
I agree with that.
And because of that, I think he's the better option at quarterback because I hate to say it, but Lamar Jackson is not a prolific passer of the football. And the Baltimore Ravens.
I thought he grew a lot last season.
Yeah, he grew a lot, but he's still average. He's just regular. He's not prolific. And I think Tyler Huntley is just as good, or maybe
Must say Tyler Huntley's prolific to you?
I'm saying no. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Tyler, when it just comes to passing, I think Tyler Huntley is just as good or a tick below Lamar, but he can run better than Lamar at this point. So I believe he's more of a weapon because Baltimore offense is predicated on running the football, not only with the running back, but with your quarterback. And Tyler Huntley, he will get up out of there and run while Lamar is hesitant. Lamar doesn't want to get out of there and run right now. And so he's holding the ball too long and he's taking too many hits. And that's why he got a back injury now. He's missing games. So I think, right. So I think Tyler Huntley is the way to go if Lamar Jackson isn't 100%. He's not 100%. We know that. And one thing I don't do, if you out on that field, there's no excuses. I don't get that excuse. Well, he's hurt. He's not 100%. Did he play or did he not play? Okay, how did he play? Okay, he didn't play good. I don't care that because he had a hamstring tightness or he had back soreness. Then don't play because all
that's the reality of it. If you are playing and you're hurt, it's going to affect how you play.
Every player, there's no player in the NFL.
Quarterback is different than your running back or whatever because
Josh Allen has a foot injury. I don't hear nobody making excuses for Josh Allen's foot injury.
And yesterday he was on a struggle bus too, respectfully.
Yeah, but he's had a foot injury for weeks. He had a foot injury for 4 weeks now. If you can't play with the foot injury.
For me, I thought he was doing a lot better masking it until what happened last week. Right. Then it was evident when he came back out like he was struggling. Right. But when someone is not healthy, whether or not we like it or agree with it, that does affect how you play.
Yeah, I'm not
disagreeing on how bad it is. But and sometimes when you get paid the big bucks, the coaches are like, "Oh, GMs, ownership, get out there. We're paying you, earn your money. You know,
shoot it up."
But sometimes it's not always enough. Sometimes
you're correct.
You're doing your best, but fuck my hamstring.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best, but I can't move the same way.
Don't get me wrong, I feel you, but from a football perspective, and from the guys who aren't can you play or can you not play? If you go out there and play, ain't no excuses. We don't care about no ailments, no injuries. There's no player,
if
no quarterback.
If your QB is hurt, then you can't expect them to go out there.
There's no quarterback in the league that's 100% right now. Not one.
You don't have to be 100%. I'm not saying everybody's 100%, but his back contusion, Josh Allen's ankle, Josh is still mobile. He's still out there running. Now he might be in pain while he's running. I don't know. But he's doing a good enough job of masking it.
Right.
Derrick Henry. I keep saying Derrick Henry. When Lamar left the field last week,
he
didn't help getting down the steps.
Right,
so there's levels to it.
Right. So sit out. Don't play because what we don't want is we don't want you to play and then you play bad.
I always say
and then we say, his back was hurt.
I agree with that.
Right. If your back hurt, let Tyler Huntley play.
I agree.
If your back is good, if you go out there and play, if Lamar goes out there and play, I don't want to hear nothing about his back. I don't want to hear nothing about his hamstring. I don't want to hear nothing about the shoulder. Malik Willis just went out there and played with half a shoulder. Either you're healthy or you're not. If you're not,
the same expectations for the league are not going to be the same for Lamar Jackson. I do hope that they let Tyler Huntley play. I do think he's the better option just because he's healthy. If Lamar can't be, his best for that game. So I said yesterday, I told you, I was like, I'm going with Tyler. I'm gonna rock out with him. If Lamar's not healthy, that's what I'm gonna go with. But sometimes, they don't always have the option. Sometimes they want to sit out, but it's like, no, you're gonna play. You getting paid.
Oh no, the player has the option. He has first option. It's his body. He has. If Lamar don't want to play, he's not gonna play. I mean, now that the coaches and the fans and the GMs and all, they can try to talk him into it and try to put pressure on him to play. But at the end of the day, it's up to him to say, I'm in or I'm out. Now sometimes if a quarterback plays hurt, he gets respect from his teammates and the guys in the locker room because a lot of guys are playing hurt, and they respect that. Like when Herbert went out there and played with one arm, just had surgery, and in the same week he went and played. Aaron Rodgers went and played with the cast on the wrist. He playing with one arm. Guys respect that in the locker room if you can go play
I get
hurt.
the respect factor. I get
But
that.
at the same time, I can understand Lamar. The only way he probably can play if they give him a shot, and he might not want to take that shot. And I can understand that too. It's gonna be his decision at the end of the day. But do you lose some respect from your teammates because you don't play hurt? Yes, you do. So that might factor in his decision to play. But whatever decision he made, live with that decision, and let's make no excuses about your performance based on your decision to go play.
I'm on the side of don't play him because you
Right.
rather have a healthier, as healthy as possible. And as much as if he could be 80%, 85, 90, whatever it is, I'd rather have that Lamar than have a 40% Lamar with a bad contusion out there trying to help us win
Correct.
playoff games.
Correct.
I'd
Well, I would
rather
say
have
if he
that.
don't play though, I'm not playing him in the playoffs either
Yeah.
though.
I don't know if they're gonna do that now.
I'm around with Tyler
Lamar's
Huntley.
healthy. I'm gonna go with Lamar if he's healthy. But if
Yeah,
he's
but
still
see, this
got the issue,
problem
then
is,
rock out with Tyler.
and I understand where you're coming from, but the problem is now you look, the head coach don't want to lose the respect from the guys in the locker room. If you play Tyler Huntley and Tyler Huntley goes out there and play well and you win, and Tyler Huntley is literally the reason why you got into the playoffs, and then you decide to
Henry.
go to
I don't think it's
Lamar Jackson, who guys are like, he didn't even want to play hurt for us. When all the chips was on the line, he didn't want to play hurt for us. You can lose as a
wanting
head
to and
coach.
being able to are two different things.
I know, but see, I understand where you're coming from. I'm trying to speak from the players in the locker room standpoint.
They know Lamar. I would hope that they
Yeah.
know if he is well enough to get out there that he's going to get out there and
Well,
play.
he's well enough to get
But if
out there if he take
Lamar's
that
like, I
shot.
can't do it. He's like, I
Yeah,
can't
take a
do
shot.
it.
He can do it
That's
with a
something
shot.
different.
He take that cortisone. He can go out there and play. Do you want to take that cortisone? Do you not want to take the cortisone? At the end of the day, that's
I
what it's
mean,
gonna come down
how
to.
bad is the back contusion though? I mean, I know they say it's a back contusion, but I don't know it's like
I mean,
what level, what grade, or whatever have you.
well,
Like the
considering that
specifics regarding it.
today I was hearing that he's questionable. I mean, it's 50-50. It's not season. If it was really bad to the point where they're like, well, he can't play, he's season industry. I mean, season ending, then that's different. But when you're 50-50, like it means a lot for those players, even if you go out there and play bad, that you gave it everything you had for us. But if
Are
he
you
don't
trying to
go
win the game or what? If I'm
right,
in the locker room and we have Tyler Huntley who's able to help us win the game with Derrick
right,
Henry doing what he does, let's just rock out with Tyler. I love you,
right.
Lamar, but my guy, you're not healthy right now. So
That's my
let's
point.
rock out with Tyler.
But I got
I
to stay with
appreciate
Tyler
you
though.
wanting to, but we're trying to get to the playoffs. We're trying to win
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, but after that I gotta stay with Tyler because now the players are gonna be back in Tyler. And I don't want to lose the locker room because
I don't
if
know
I
if they'll
put
back Tyler over Lamar if
this
he's
is the
healthy.
problem. This is the problem we have. Let's say Tyler starts this week. He goes out there and win. They make the playoffs. Okay, let's say they make the playoffs with Tyler Huntley this weekend. Next week they start Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Lamar Jackson plays terrible. They lose. Head coach, you just lost half your locker room right there. Lamar now he's in a situation where he has to win because players are gonna be like, man, if we would have had Tyler again, we would have won. And that's the kind of situation you risk when you're the head coach. So we're gonna see what Baltimore do. It's gonna be interesting. This whole weekend is gonna be a very interesting weekend when it comes to the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens.
I don't think either one of the coaches, Ricky, has their job on the line. I mean, the fans were mad at Mike Tomlin a few games ago. They were chanting fire Mike Tomlin, but then he won a couple of games and everybody's quiet. And then when it comes to John, obviously Lamar has been hurt, so I think that will kind of give him cushion because he's been hurt for a lot of the season. to say, okay, well, we didn't have Lamar. I think because of that situation, like he'll be okay. I think, in terms of job security. Mike
Yeah.
Tomlin, I think he's earned enough respect, within that organization to not be fired outright. I think if anything, it might be like a mutual decision kind of thing if he wanted to leave, but I don't think they would just outright fire him just from the respect factor. I don't think so.
Well, the Steelers have never fired a head coach in the history of the organization. So Mike
Well,
Tomlin,
no, I'm
he'll
just
step
responding to
down.
what he said about his job being on the
Yeah, that's
line.
what I'm saying. I don't
I
think
don't think
Mike Tomlin has any job security issues because Mike Tomlin is going to step down whenever he's ready to step down. Now, he could easily say he wants to step down after this season. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But
I hope he does.
whenever Mike Tomlin decides to go, it's going to be whenever he's ready to go. And that's just how it's going to be. And John
And we've had that
Harbaugh,
conversation. Like it depends on
John
what you.
Harbaugh is totally safe. Based upon the things I've been reading this week, they'll get rid of Lamar Jackson before they get rid of John Harbaugh.
I don't think so, but we're gonna see though. We'll see. Never. I'm not gonna never say never. We're gonna see. Last comment on this topic. Do you guys think the AFC is better or the NFC?
Ooh,
And Nasir, I saw your
that's
comments.
good.
Hold on. Who you think? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's interesting. That's a real. Oh, that's really tough. That's really tough. I think the AFC is slightly better, and I think the AFC is slightly better because Houston's dominant defense, as well as what the Patriots have been doing with the coaching under Mike Vrabel. You got the best. I think
Broncos.
the Josh Allen being capable of putting on Superman's cape at any time. The
Anytime.
Broncos still a defense. I think the AFC is really, really, really tough. And all those teams are gonna be tough out. But I think it's really close though. There's an argument to be made for the NFC. But I'm just gonna say right now, I think the AFC, the thing that pushed them over the edge to me is Houston Texans defense.
All right, y'all. We'll move on to this really quickly because we've been on here for a hot minute, y'all. Thank you guys for staying with us and being active in the chat with your comments.
Yes, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe.
Right? I can see Houston going to the Super Bowl, and the Broncos are legit Patriots. Had an easy schedule though. Y'all know how I feel about that. You got to play a schedule you're given, but you're right. We gonna see.
We will see. Goals, though.
All right, now really quickly, I'm gonna move on. Nasir, I hope you're still here. We're gonna go on to one Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur legendary Sanders. All right, you guys, let's get ready. We got one more game, one more game for the season, one more game for Shedeur to put it all out there to say, you know what, Kevin Stefanski, Andrew Berry, Jimmy. I am the guy for you guys going forward. Thank you so much, Ricky. Appreciate you stopping by. He says, "Good night, Rachel."
Sure.
Thank you so much. Hope you subscribe. You better be back. Hopefully you're back.
Oh yeah, we'll see you again, Ricky, next week, Monday night.
But this is Shedeur's. I think Shedeur's had quite a few games now. Dylan Gabriel had some games. Unfortunately, he got concussed, but they both have had some games to put up some footage and show that they can be the future of this franchise. And it's been a struggle for both. I'm going to play this really quickly, and then your thoughts on Shedeur and his future in Cleveland. Does he have to win against the Burrows, you think, to get this? All right, hold on. While I'm doing that, go ahead. Give me your thoughts while I'm sharing this.
I appreciate you subscribing to the channel, Ricky. We appreciate that. Much respect. Make sure you share with one person so they can know where to get this football information, this football acumen from on Monday nights. I was really watching the game to see Myles Garrett get the sack record. He didn't get it. Hopefully he gets it this weekend against Cincinnati.
We watched it for Myles Garrett.
Let's start with Skip. Yeah. Give me a letter grade for Shedeur. Because he can get the W.
For Shedeur Sanders,
I
am going A-. A-, and I was so happy for Shedeur Sanders
A-.
because he now has a signature win over Aaron Bleepin Rodgers and a Pittsburgh Steelers team that had caught fire on both sides of the ball and won their last 3 games.
Yeah, they were playing good.
And I want to drive home the point that Shedeur Sanders is facing and up against the highest degree of difficulty in the National Football League at quarterback.
100%.
Because not only is he playing for a coach who did not want to draft him, but again, I'm going to drive this home. Pro Football Focus still ranks his offensive line in pass blocking dead last, still ranks his receiving core dead last. And even worse yesterday, who has been his favorite target?
Fannin.
Harold Fannin Jr. He had caught 28 of Shedeur's passes, by far the most those that Shedeur has thrown this year. So what happens early in the game? 5:11 left in the first quarter. Harold Fannin Jr. catches a touchdown pass that makes it 10-0, and he rolls over and aggravates his groin injury and is gone for the rest of the game. So they don't have Njoku. They hadn't had him for the last 3 games. So all of a sudden I look up and Shedeur is having to throw to a practice squad tight end named Sal Cannella. I only knew his name from the preseason when Shedeur would get thrown in with the scrubs in the preseason. He was having to throw to Sal Cannella. There's no Judkins, who obviously unfortunately got hurt and lost for the season, so we didn't have Judkins to toss it to when in doubt. And on the touchdown pass, it did float a little bit, though it got exactly to the place that it needed to get to, and it floated because Shedeur got hit as he threw. Bang. And I'm sure Cody will break this down for us. He got hit as he threw the first interception, which floated, and then who was it? Jack Sawyer picked it and returned it 27 yards because it didn't get to the receiver. And I will say this, the reason I'm a minus is the second interception early in the fourth quarter was just a terrible idea by a rookie quarterback, where he glanced across the field and Judy was waving, I'm open, I'm open, I'm open. And he said, oh, he's the vet, I got to try. And he tries to throw it completely across the field, and Kyle Duggar just put it in his back pocket. It was an easy pick.
All right, you guys. I wanted to play a little bit of that. Not all of it, just a little bit of it. Before we talk about Shedeur and what he needs to do in Cleveland. Notty nice up the way. I think he took too much. He couldn't take all the glazing from Skip, but until he gets back, y'all.
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know why my camera went off, but I'm about to turn it back on.
Okay.
But yeah,
I can't take.
Yeah, I can't.
But no.
That's the reason I don't listen to those guys.
And then I saw, I heard some of it, but I want to play it on here with you, with your live reaction, and vice versa. I guess Skip Bayless owes the Golden Goose's father a favor. Skip has been like his biggest supporter, I think, honestly speaking, since for I don't know how long. But no, like aside from what Skip said and his obviously analysis of it, which is clearly biased. What do you think? Do you think, first, that Shedeur has done enough to get the job outright? And if he hasn't, what does he need to do next week? Aside from a win, how does he need to perform, you think, to be like, okay, we got our guy? For now, anyway, at least.
Honestly, I don't know what the criteria is for if a guy's done enough. If you ask me based off his performance,
based on we can only go by that.
No, based off his performance, he's been one of the worst quarterbacks in the league this year. Just going off the performances and going off the numbers.
You don't think he's made any progress at all?
No, he's throwing multiple picks every game. That's not progress. You're not putting points on the board.
Some of those are not his fault though. But we know.
I mean, that's see. I don't. Are you throwing the picks or are you not throwing the picks? Are you putting up points on the board or are you not putting up points on the board? Are you in the open receiver or are you not in the open receiver? Yes, those are the things I look at. What's your pocket presence looking like? I mean, now in some areas he has gotten better, which I've always said he's a rookie quarterback. He needs time to develop. The problem is, I don't know how they did it. I think the media is in love with Deion, like we all in love with Deion. We all want Deion to succeed in Colorado. We want Deion kids to do great. We want Shedeur to do great because of his father. If his name was Shedeur Scott, we would be like, this guy can't play. But because it's Shedeur Sanders, we want to give, and I get it. And
I don't think it's just because of Deion. I think honestly the media helped create this whole thing when everything happened with the draft, because then it became this whole global thing. Like, man, he's been blackballed and he has been treated right.
Way before the draft.
All these different things, because before the draft, the expectation was that he would go higher than what he did.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It started before the hype started. Why? The hype started before the draft. The draft just put a reality on the hype. That's what I'm saying. Like, the media helped create this hype that Shedeur was somehow special. He's just a special talent. He's going to be the number one quarterback. If not number one, he's going to be number two because he's just so special. And I was like, I watched all his games from Jackson to Colorado. He's not special. He's a guy that can be good because of his intangibles. He's a good leader. He throws accurate passes, and he has a high football IQ. I believe those are the things that make good quarterbacks in this league. But he's going to need time to develop. You can't just throw him out there and expect him to just come out here in a home run. That was a hype that they put on him that I didn't like from the beginning. I was like, don't do that.
Who expected him to come out there and throw like 5 touchdowns?
The media put that kind of expectations on him, and they created more of that and because they put that hype on him when he was drafted in the 5th round, you had so many fans talking, "Oh, this is conspiracy. They trying to blackball Shedeur, and they don't like No. The reality is he's a 5th round talent. That's the reality. Now that's not.
I don't think he's a 5th round talent. I think that's what he was.
I mean, Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft. That's because you're the last pick in the draft don't mean that they got it right. A lot of times the NFL general managers, they get it wrong because the thing they look for first is a cannon of an arm, speed, and is he 6'5", 250 pounds, look like Josh Allen. That's what they look for. But a lot of times your great quarterbacks don't come in that package. Your great quarterback is a guy who has a mediocre arm, who runs a 5'4", and is 6'2", 6'3", Tom Brady. That's the guy.
But moving the conversation forward, though. Because like I always say, we can't go back to what should have, could have, would have happened and what they should have did in Cleveland and the mistake they made, everything else. Mistakes they made. If you Andrew Berry and you making the choice, you're gonna either draft somebody and out the draft, you're gonna go back to Dylan, you're gonna stick with Shedeur. What is your choice?
Well, if I'm Andrew Berry, I believe that Shedeur is Andrew Berry's guy. His job is on the line with Shedeur. So if I'm Andrew Berry, I stick with Shedeur. That's what I do.
If your job is on the line, you're going to stick with Shedeur?
His job is on the line with Shedeur because that was his pick. That was his choice. If I'm the owner, I fire Andrew Berry. And I let the new general manager make that decision, whether he wants to keep Shedeur or not. But if I'm Andrew Berry, no, I got to stick with Shedeur because I stuck my neck out for him. And we're going to do our best to develop him and give him the time and the pieces around him. We're going to put real wide receivers around him.
You get rid of Dylan? Well, you keep him as the backup to Shedeur.
I gotta get rid of Dylan. I would hope from a moral standpoint that you let Dylan go so he can go out there and find another team to latch on to and have his opportunity to be the quarterback that he believes he can be. Because I can't have both of them on the team for some fact that
I agree. One or the other, please.
Even though they talk a good game, how they support each other and all that. If I'm Dylan Gabriel, I'm like, I outperform Shedeur. Why am I not the guy? I'm Kevin Stefanski guy. He's the head coach. So I should be the guy. If I'm Shedeur, I'm like, I got more talent than you. And Andrew Berry, I'm his guy. So I should be the guy. So now you got riffraff in the locker room. I don't think either one of them is a clear-cut favorite, which is why Cleveland Brown realistically could go in the draft and take a quarterback. I wouldn't be surprised if they did that either. But
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
But if I'm doing that, I'm definitely
not. You still got Deshaun there. You still got Deshaun Watson there.
Yeah, right. So if I'm doing that, I'm not letting Andrew Berry pick my next quarterback. That's gonna be for the new general manager to come in, because Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski have made a mess. I don't trust them to clean up their mess. So I'm gonna hire somebody to come in. I'm gonna give them a year to clean up this mess, and then I'm gonna give them 2 years to start building the team that they need to build. But Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski have pooped all over the building, and I need somebody else to come in there and clean it up.
I've got to actually read this comment from Nasir. He said something nice, well, kind of nice, about Shedeur finally. I would say that Shedeur is a better option than next season's crop of quarterbacks. Maybe a couple might be better, but I'd rather have Shedeur than Mendoza. Look at you. See, I told you, Nasir, if you hung around a little bit longer, you was gonna find your way into liking Shedeur just a little bit. I see the cracks coming through, Nasir. I see him. I feel it.
He didn't necessarily say he likes Shedeur. He's looking at
he said something nice, and typically he's never said too much nice. That's
passive.
What I'm going to focus on.
That's called that he was being passive. What he's really saying
I'm going
is
to focus on the positive part of it though,
right?
Because usually we don't do anything.
I don't want him to fool you.
I'm not. Look,
like,
he never types anything halfway decent. So when it comes to Shedeur, the golden
he didn't mess on him, which is good. That's
I'm going to take that part. I'm going to focus on that part of it.
Right.
Like, he didn't bring up his chains. He didn't bring up all the different things, the music and the cameras and whatnot, the headphones. He just focused on that part. So I'm gonna take what positivity I can from that comment.
I agree with Nasir on that point. Next year is not really the year to draft a quarterback. The year after next year is the year to take the quarterback. That's when all the good quarterbacks are going to be coming out, because most of the good quarterbacks decide to stay back in school this year and take that money. Take that NIL money and get another year on their belt to keep getting better and keep being developed, so they can hit the NFL running when they do come. So this year, you got a couple guys, like I say, Dante Moore out of Oregon. You got Mendoza out of Indiana. Those are going to be your two guys who are going to go high from a quarterback perspective. And we'll see where Carson Beck and some of the other guys go. But yeah, I don't think this season it's a year to take the quarterback. So from that aspect, yeah, I believe that Shedeur would be. I would rather take my chances with Shedeur than one of those guys that's coming out. But sometimes you got to trick the fans, because fans don't really know what's best for them. So sometimes you got to make them think we got this new guy coming in and he's gonna save the day, when really you don't know what you got coming in.
I'm not even sure, because this is the last game of the season. I don't know if Joe Burrow's going to be out there, or it's going to be Shedeur versus Flacco. I don't know what's going to go on. But do you think that the Browns have enough, no matter who's the QB for the Bengals, to win the game?
Well, I pick Joe Burrow to play, unless he's hurt or something like that. I haven't heard anything about him being injured. So
no, he's not injured. I'm just thinking because the season's over, then nothing's going to happen.
He's a football player.
That's why I said, if they do, then great. If they don't, then they don't. But either way, do you have the Eagles? Do you have the Cleveland Browns winning this?
If Joe Burrow played, then I got the Cincinnati Bengals winning the football game. But I think it could be because Cincinnati defense isn't that good. I think Shedeur can score more than 20 points. And that'll be big, it'll be big. Now,
Myles Garrett hit the record. You think finally?
He's got to hit the record. But these teams don't want him to do it, so they triple teaming him.
They're not. They're making it hard for him. The Bills made it so hard. They made it hard yesterday. They were like, "We do not want you. We don't care if we lose. We're not letting you get this record."
Jim Schwartz is gonna have to move Myles Garrett around. Like you're not gonna be able to allow him to just come off the edge. Sometimes you're gonna have to put him in the interior. He's gonna have to find the weakest offensive lineman just about every snap and have an opportunity. And that's just how it's gonna go. But the Cincinnati Bengals are gonna do everything in their power not to allow him to break that record, which I'm okay with. But with that being said, I think Shedeur is going to have a good opportunity to play well on offense, even though he might be missing Harold Fanning Jr. this week. Harold Fanning may not play. I don't expect Njoku to play. So you're going to be playing with pretty much Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, some other rookie wide receivers out there. But Cincinnati defense isn't that good.
Side note to Jerry Jeudy, like, why would you call for Shedeur to bring you the ball and then not even try to get in front to catch it? I'm like, what you tell him to throw it to you for? Jerry, come on, man. You got to put a little bit more effort. Put some more effort to it, man.
Yeah, I mean, he was open. Effort. I mean, that was just a bad throw by Shedeur. I mean, he threw that ball. First of all, he was running backward. Then you threw it off the back foot, which means he didn't have his foot planted. So he floated the ball. Now, there was no way Jerry Jeudy was going to catch the ball. But what I would have liked Jerry Jeudy to do is don't let the defender catch it. Knock it down. Now, you sometimes wide receivers turn to a defensive back. That was one of them plays where I need Jerry Jeudy to turn to a defensive back to save my quarterback from having an interception on his record. Just try to get in front. Even if you got a pass interference, the defense, take the 15-yard penalty or whatever you're going to take. Don't let him come down with INT. And that's what you should have did. But, I mean, wasn't no way he was going to catch the ball. I mean, because the quarterback threw it late and off the back foot. It was ill-advised. But
I don't think he should do it either. Point. I think he was like, Jerry asked for it. Okay, I'm gonna try to get it to you, but I don't think he should have. I don't think he should have. I was like, don't do it, Shedeur, but he did it. He's a rookie. Yeah,
he still want to make every play too. Shedeur, he's still a guy. He want to make every play, and he want to make big plays down the field. And sometimes that causes him to hold on to the ball too long, or he'll throw like
still does,
like he had a pass yesterday. I mean, he threw one bad pass that got picked off and took back, but he threw another pass that should have been a pick six yesterday that fortunately got dropped. Like you gotta limit these turnovers. These turnovers gonna get you beat.
Yeah.
But it worked out yesterday that the team won the game and your turnovers didn't cost the team. But I mean, based off performance though, like he hasn't been good. But I didn't expect him to be. This is what I expected. I expected Shedeur to be one of those guys who needs a year or two to develop. But the media sold that hype train that he was this all-time great quarterback coming into the league.
I didn't hear anybody say he was an all-time great QB. I mean, because the goal was like to give him a chance. I never heard anybody say Shedeur's going to come out and he's going to be otherworldly.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't hear that at all. I know
because you just told me that what you were hearing was he was going to be a number one, number two quarterback in the draft. That's the hype that the media tried to tell everybody that he was that good.
I'm talking about once the season started, he got his chance.
Once the season started,
I didn't hear anybody saying, "Man, he's gonna come out there, he's gonna light it up." No,
yeah. I did.
Cam Ward was number one overall, but Cam Ward hasn't been lighting it up either. Let's just
Cam Ward's pretty good. I like Cam Ward.
I like him too, but in terms of record, he's been okay. He
been okay. He been another quarterback. He's been okay.
They haven't won that many games, so
I'm saying he's been better than Shedeur, but he hasn't been great. I mean, but
in the game, I thought Shedeur outplayed him in that when they played the Titans. I mean,
what I've seen, he did. Statistically, he did.
I don't even know the stats from both. Honestly speaking, I don't know the stats.
No, he outplayed Cam in that game. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say he didn't outperform Cam in that game. They lost, but Cam didn't play better than Shedeur in that game.
He did get it from the mud. Yeah, he has.
Right. Cam Ward getting from the mud. He got a terrible team. When you got Cleveland and Tennessee had number 1 and 2 picks in the draft. So whatever quarterback you getting, they're going to a terrible team. They're not going to a team.
We can't move the goalposts when we have conversations depending on how we want to spin the narrative.
No, these are the facts.
But there have been QBs that have come to terrible franchises and still done things to turn it around. So
not the number 1 and number 2.
I didn't expect I'm not saying he was going to go from them winning almost no games, whatever their record was last year. I'm off the top of my head to being 12-3 or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. They don't happen.
But everybody would make. I didn't say he was going to do it. What I'm saying, but people were making it seem like Cam Ward, and Shedeur, like his level of play is miles. I'm talking about analysts.
You're making my point. That's my whole point.
Watching the games,
yes,
and him playing this season and what their record is, like he's played okay. Like
that's my point.
I haven't seen lights out. He needs more time, like Shedeur does.
That's what I'm trying to say. The media hype people up to believing these guys was finna come up here and change the league, and I'm like, I watch these guys play in college. They're not that guy. They're not. These guys are gonna take development to be good. You gotta give these guys 2 or 3 years to develop in a system and a head coach and a franchise that believe in them and build around them for them to be good. They're not good enough to come into this league and just dominate like that. And so I blame the media for
next season though. It's just how the improvement is.
Yeah, they're gonna put.
I don't want to shit on Cam, y'all.
No, it's not. It's not messing on Cam because the truth of the matter is, and I haven't ever seen a quarterback in my history of watching football go to the number 1 or number 2 team who got the number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft and come in and be great. I've never seen it because chances are, if you go to a team that had number 1 or the number 2 pick, they picking number 1 and number 2 for a reason because they're terrible. They got more than a quarterback problem. They got offensive line issues.
I'm talking about when I'm talking about Cam Ward. I'm looking at his individual play.
Oh, but his individual play is good. I'm looking
at things that he's done, things that maybe he could have done better. When I say that, I'm not looking at everybody around.
Now, if I look at Cam Ward. And I've been screaming Cam Ward since the preseason. When I'm breaking down all 22 film, I don't see the thing about me. I don't just sit there and watch the game on TV with my sound off and be like, okay. Then after the game, I'll be like, I want to get more in there. I want to really see what this guy's doing. I do the extra work, which is why I don't like when people don't do the extra work and be. No, I'm doing the extra work. I'm gonna go watch the all 22 film. I'm gonna see exactly what he looked like. And when I go watch the all 22 film, I'm impressed with Cam Ward. I've been telling you this all season, and we've been talking about the record ain't good and he don't got the weapons. But I'm saying what I'm seeing out of him on tape, man, once they get him some real weapons and once they show up that offensive line, he's going to be good. I mean, the throws that he make are next level throws. He making elite quarterback throws. I mean, I wish he would run more because he doesn't want to run. He want to be a pocket passer, which I get that. But Cam Ward has been impressive to me. Now, if I'm comparing that with Shedeur hasn't been as impressive to me as Cam Ward, but I didn't expect that because even coming out of college, I thought Cam Ward was the better quarterback. I thought Jackson Dart was the better quarterback.
One really good season. That last season. One.
Yeah, but
he didn't come into the NFL riding like all these different years where he was out there. He had one. He had one.
I wasn't saying that based off his 1 year in Miami, which was a great year in Miami. I wasn't saying that. It
was a great year.
But I wasn't saying that based off his 1 year, just his 1 year in Miami. I was saying that because of his mentality that he displayed and based on his arm strength. And I thought he was and that's why I said I'm disappointed that he doesn't run enough. I thought he just was a better athlete as far as with his legs, which I haven't seen this year. I would like to see him get out the pocket more. But based off his attributes, I thought he was the best quarterback coming out in the draft. I thought Jackson Dart was the second best quarterback in the draft. I thought Shedeur was the third best quarterback coming out in the draft.
If you're going just based on in terms of physicality and athleticism, I can see that we can.
Right. All of that. And based off, like I said, I watched all the Shedeur games in college. I thought he was good, but I didn't think he was special. Like they tried to sell us that he was gonna be the first pick, second pick in the draft, and then when he went to fifth, it's conspiracy theory. No, I think he's somewhere between the third and the fifth round talent, and he needs time to develop. He's not gonna come in and just dominate the league. You got to put pieces around him. He cannot win with Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman being his number 1 and number 2 targets. He can't win if Njoku is gonna be hurt most of his time playing. He can't win when the offensive line is in shambles. He can't win like that. You can go get a first round quarterback who will struggle in the same situation he's in. So let's not judge him based off what he's doing right now. That's why I said it's difficult for me to judge. If I'm Andrew Berry, I stick with Shedeur. I believe Shedeur, like Nasir said, I believe he's better than any quarterback that's going to come into the draft this year. I believe that. So that's what I would ride with. If I'm Stefanski, I might fight for Dylan Gabriel. So,
honestly speaking, although it may not be fair, he's going to be judged based off of what we've seen in this small sample size. We didn't get a chance to really see him a whole season, obviously, based on you know
Right.
how they did things in Cleveland. Unfortunately, him or Dylan Gabriel, and then you still got Deshaun Watson, who they paying all this money to. I don't think they can get rid of him with the way that contract is, you know, and the injuries and everything. So he's going to be there, you know, this another season anyway. So they might put him out there because they're paying him all that money. They're like, you get out, we paying you, get out there and win some games, you know. So there's that part of it too.
Right.
But it is unfortunate though because so much conversation has surrounded Shedeur and whether or not you know he was unfairly you know blackballed and you know and conspiracy theories, everything, all these different things. And he does need more time. All rookies need time, you know. Like
Yes.
it takes time to develop and adjust things of that nature, you know. There are some things that I like. I like that the past two games, the Cleveland Browns, their offense as a whole has started off with a lot more urgency. He's been efficient to start the games off. He's been his pocket presence has been better. I feel like he's been more decisive. Something happens where he throws that pick and it's like it seems like he starts to second guess himself, and then like you know another pick comes again, you know, and so on and so forth. You know, but like I said, it takes time, you know, like old habits die hard, you know, like he holds the ball too long. He will have to work on that, you know, and I guess I don't know how long it takes to figure that stuff out. Obviously I don't play football, but you know, overall he needs time. They need time. Yes. So, you know, it is what it is. I want to get your thoughts real quick. Hold on, because Nasir put this in the chat a while ago. I want to sure I don't forget it. I'm gonna ask you your thoughts on Miami versus Ohio State and Indiana versus Alabama. Greatly appreciated. I think Miami might upset Ohio. I think they might. Indiana, I expect Alabama to win that game.
Ohio State is a juggernaut.
They are.
I expect Ohio State.
Miami can do it though.
Yeah, I expect Ohio State to blow Miami out. Actually, and when I say blow them out, I mean win by more than 14 points. I expect Ohio State to win by more than 14 points. And Indiana, Alabama, that's gonna be the game. Alabama can beat Indiana.
I agree.
I'm not saying they will. I think well, I kind of, when it comes to college football, the two teams I root for are Colorado and Alabama. So I'll be pulling for Alabama, but I believe in Indiana. I believe in that coaching. I believe in that coaching staff, and I believe in that quarterback. Even though on the next level, I think he's just be an average guy, but in college, he's a hell of a player. You know, and man, the way they have that offense moving, man, I really think Indiana and Alabama is gonna be the game of the weekend. Either one of those teams could win. I like Alabama in the upset in that game, and I like Ohio State to blow out Miami.
All right. We're going to see. On that note, you guys, we're going to get up out of here. All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. This was a great episode, you guys. A lot of fun, a lot of great comments, a lot of great feedback. Notty, is always a pleasure doing this with you. Next week is like what our regular season finale, I guess, because the regular season will be over and then we're heading to playoffs. Bittersweet. This has been fun. I look forward. Steelers versus Ravens. You said Ravens got it, right? I'm gonna go Steelers.
I mean, I'm pulling for the Steelers, you know, but
you got Ravens.
I'm picking the Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens. I think the Steelers are done.
Okay. All right, we're gonna see. Thank you so much, Nasir. Have a wonderful night. Happy New Year. If I don't hop back on here before, then Happy New Year to you all. Everybody be safe. Have a great productive week. Don't drink too much. Don't drink and drive. Okay, be careful, you guys. Be good. Anything you want to say before we got out of here, Nani?
Oh, no, I appreciate you. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Please share with one person at least. Of course, Just Simply Sports, and I appreciate you having me on. It's fun. One Man Cave, built for this radio network, and you can find me on all social media.
Raw Side of Things.
Oh, that's a show that we have, but yeah, Raw Side of Things. Make sure y'all check that out. Also, all my social media platform is One Man Cave. So TikTok, Instagram, you can find me at One Man Cave. I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all, man. A lot of chat. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Peace out. Good night. Good night.